Bob Lemon, who was fired last month as manager of the Chicago White Sox, has been named to replace Billy Martin, who resigned as manager today. The announcement of Lemon's appointment was made at a news conference in Kansas City prior to tonight's game with the Royals. Dick Howser, Yanks' third base coach, will run the club for tonight's game, while Lemon heads for Kansas City for tomorrow night's game. Martin, who's battled Yankee management and players time and time again, stepped down following the latest in a series of disagreements with principal owner George Steinbrenner and outfielder Reggie Jackson. New York Times reporter Myron Farber is in jail for refusing to turn
throughout the game.
If something happens that you need to know, we'll tell you about it.
And when the game is over, 1010 WINS will bring you up to date on what the rest of the world was doing.
This is where you'll hear it. Hear it on 1010. New York wins. Here comes the Yankees. Let's get behind and cheer the Yankees. They're gonna learn to feel the Yankees. Everyone knows they play to win. 'Cause they're the New York Yankees.
Good evening, everybody. This is Frank Messer on the New York Yankee pregame show, sponsored by Abraham and Strauss and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York. And we're speaking to you tonight from Royal Stadium in Kansas City, where in just a few minutes the New York Yankees open a two-game series against the Kansas City Royals. I'm sure that most of our listeners know by now the Yankees will be under a new manager. Billy Martin having resigned as manager of the New York Yankees this afternoon. I'll have that story from the president of the New York Yankees, Al Rosen, when I come back in just 1 minute.
The men at the men's store of Abraham and Strauss have a question to ask all you Yankee fans. When you hear the name Lee, what do you think of? Jeans, right? Well, that's close. Lee used to mean jeans, but today Lee means a lot more. Today Lee means brushed cotton denim vests, brushed denim sport jackets, and short-waisted jackets. The fact is that at Abraham and Strauss, we have Lee in all sorts of coordinated fashions for fall. Like an outfit called the Carlisle, a sport jacket, vest, and jeans and matching blue denim. And then there's the San Remo. It's a jacket and jeans and blue denim with orange fashion stitching. They're 100% cotton and Lee set, which means they won't turn into shorts when you wash them. In fact, at Abraham and Strauss, you'll find things from Lee you never thought you'd ever see in denim, plus the things Lee has always been famous for. See the men at the men's store of A&S. Ask them the question, what does the name Lee mean to you? And if you got the time, they'll show you plenty of answers. Lee at Abraham and Strauss.
This afternoon, Billy Martin tendered his resignation as manager of the New York Yankees. The resignation was handed to Yankee President Al Rosen. Al Rosen is sitting with me right now here on the Yankee pregame show. Al, would you comment on the day's events, what led up to it, and what will follow?
Well, as you know, Frank, Yankee management has been quite concerned for some time about Billy's physical and mental, I shouldn't say mental, really emotional well-being. The strain of the season, attempting to win 3 straight championships in a row and 2 world championships, have been quite a bit to Billy, and of course all of this led to, in all probability, Billy's statements of last night that have been attributed to him. I came in town really to gather all the information that I could, find out just what happened. When Billy decided today to resign, I accepted his resignation as the president. I must point out that in no way, as the president of the Yankees, would I allow any member of the New York Yankees, an employee of the New York Yankees, to verbally assail someone in the front office such as Billy was alleged to have done.
Al Rosen, you feel then that Billy's health did lead up to this sequence of events that culminated today in his resignation?
I'm certain of that, Frank, because I know Billy, and I know what's been going on in the past couple of weeks. I know that Billy was concerned about his health because he himself discussed his physical well-being while at the All-Star game in San Diego. We've been quite concerned about that because it has shown Billy has looked haggard at times and pale and very upset with himself and with things that went on, and this was an opportunity for Billy to say, fellas, I've had it. We felt so strongly about it because, after all, Billy has been a winner for this organization, that we are standing behind our commitment to Billy as far as his salary goes through 1979.
Does he at this moment have any future connection with the Yankees other than the Yankees honoring his salary?
None that I can specifically state. However, as Billy Wood, when he left today, he said, Al, I want to tell you about some of our pitchers, give you some insight into some of those so you can tell it to the new manager. And I think that gives you some insight into Billy, because he is interested in the Yankees and the well-being of the Yankee organization and the team in its quest to win a third straight championship.
We'll continue this discussion with Al Rosen in just a moment. You've heard about group health insurance plans that cover doctor and hospital costs after you get sick. Now Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York offers a group plan that's even better. It's called the Community Health Plan, and it's better because it also pays for preventive medicine, those doctor visits and periodic checkups that can help you and your family stay well. But that's just the beginning. Under the Community Health Plan, you'll be able to get quick medical attention any hour of the day or night if an emergency arises. You also get to choose your own doctor from teams of specialists associated with 2 of the metropolitan area's leading hospitals. But maybe best of all, the Community Health Plan takes care of all your health care needs at one convenient location near your home. Ask your employer if you're eligible to sign up for the Community Health Plan offered by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York. Or to get more information, write to WINS Radio, 90 Park Avenue, New York 10016. That's the Community Health Plan, care of WINS Radio, 90 Park Avenue, New York 10016. Al Rosen, the new manager of the New York Yankees. Let it be announced here by you in person on our Yankee pregame show who will manage the Yankees now that Billy Martin is gone.
We're fortunate to have Bob Lemon available. Bob, as you know, was a pitching coach for the Yankees and did a wonderful job for them. Then went on to the White Sox, where he did an outstanding job, was let go this year, and we feel very fortunate in the fact that Bob Lemon is available. He's going to arrive sometime late tonight and will assume the control of the New York Yankees tomorrow.
And in the meantime, tonight's ball game, I understand, will be in the control of Dick Howser.
And that's right.
What about the future of the Yankee coaching staff? Has any discussion been made of that? Will there be changes? Will that be up to Bob Lemon?
This all came about so fast, Frank, that we haven't done anything along those lines. I did meet with the coaches today to tell them that they would all be retained through this season.
Talking about Bob Lemon, your connection with Bob goes back quite a few years. In fact, you were teammates at one time with the Cleveland Indians, Al.
Bob and I go back to 1941, if you want to believe that I am that old, Frank. However, Bob and I were very close friends and teammates for a number of years during the golden years of Cleveland baseball. I am a Bob Lemon man, I must admit. He is a great handler of pitchers. He is a great handler of men, a strict disciplinarian. Bob knows how to get the job done, and I think he'll bring a new dimension to Yankee baseball. We're very glad to have him.
All right, one final thing, Al Rosen. What about the immediate future of the Yankees now? Can we still anticipate a pennant race with the Boston Red Sox?
We're very happy we picked up 4 ball games on the Red Sox in 4 days. We think we have a very good chance. I still go back to 1951 when in August the Brooklyn Dodgers were leading the Giants by 13.5 games. Last year, if you recall, our club was out by 5.5 games in August. We still have a lot of ball games to play, and I think our club is going to make a real run at the Boston Red Sox during the month of September.
Al, I said that was the final thing. You led into one other final thing. What about the reaction of the players now? Have you had a chance to talk to any of them? What is the feeling? Will they perhaps gain more incentive over the situation now? Or is it possible someone might let down? What is your feeling as a baseball man?
A baseball player really is a rugged individualist, and he's interested in his own well-being as well as that of the team. I don't foresee any letdown at all. I think that the ball club will go out to win because they are professionals. They know how to win. They've proven that. They want to win. We know that. And I believe that they're going to rise to the occasion, and that occasion is to catch the Red Sox.
And with those words, Al, we'll let you go, and let's all start thinking about winning ball games and nothing else from here on in.
I would believe that would be a great thing, Frank. Thank you.
We'll be back with a final word in just 1 minute.
When Reggie swings, New York wins. When Broadway sings, New York wins. At NYU, it's Jersey too. For the kids at the Broadway. New York wins. On the streets, on the beats, at the nets, you can press. With trumpets and violins, New York wins. When Yankees score, New York wins. When you explore, New York wins. Start your day and cheer it. This is where you'll hear it. Hear it on 10-10. New York wins. New York wins.
My thanks to Yankee President Al Rosen for discussing the resignation of Billy Martin and the naming of Bob Lemon as the new manager of the New York Yankees. Bob Lemon will probably take over the ball club tomorrow. Dick Howser is the manager for tonight's game. The pregame show has been sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York and by Abraham and Strauss. I'm Frank Messer. Now stay tuned for New York Yankee baseball.
There's a reason Z-Part is number one. 'Cause when we say the job is done, your car has positive protection. Positive protection. From rust. Rust protection's not the same. If done by any other name than Z-Part. Z-Part, it's us or rust. There's a reason Z-Bart leads today. Every Z-Bart dealer is proud to say your car has positive protection. Positive protection from rust. Rust protection's not the same. If done by any other name than Z-Bart. Z-Bart, it's us or rust. Here comes the Yankees, let's get behind the dealer. Yankees, they're gonna learn to feel it. Yankees, everyone knows they play to win. 'Cause they're from New York.
New York Yankee Baseball is sponsored by Yoo-Hoo Beverages, the Household Finance Corporation, Champion Spark Plugs, Budweiser Beer, and by Rickles Home Improvement Centers, Gulf Oil, and Colonial Provisions, makers of Yankee Franks.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to New York Yankee Baseball. I'm Phil Rizzuto, along with Frank Messer and Fran Healy. Bill White, out on assignment tonight, will not be here. The Yankees will meet the Kansas City Royals in the first two very important ball games, and even more important now as we get the word that the Boston Red Sox were defeated in the first game of their twilight doubleheader by the Minnesota Twins 5-4. So, Frank Messer, that is good news because it continues Boston's losing streak. And if I remember rightly, last year the Red Sox had 2 long losing streaks, and that's what cost them the pennant.
Well, that's very true, Scooter. They did have 2 long losing streaks. It was almost unbelievable to anybody in baseball that they could go into an extended losing streak this year. But as baseball people have said from time immemorial, every team during the course of the season will go into an extended slump, and every team, no matter how bad during the course of a season, will go into an extended winning streak.
All right, you're right, Frank. And, of course, that's the good news for tonight. We have some bad news. I'm sure most of you heard it on Frank's pregame show. And if you haven't heard it, it's the fact that Billy Martin resigned today. Billy, under tremendous pressure and not feeling well at all. And we'd like to read you the statement that came right from Billy Martin. And this is just the way Billy Martin wanted it said. I don't want to hurt the team for their chances for the pennant with all this undue publicity. The team has a shot at the pennant, and I hope they win it. I owe it to my health and mental well-being to resign at this time. And also, I am very sorry there were things written about George Steinbrenner. He did not deserve them, nor did I say them. George and I have had our differences, and in most cases we have been able to resolve them. And this is when Billy really broke up and had to run away from the press conference. He said, I want to thank the Yankee office management, the press, the news media, my coaches and players, and most of all the fans for their undying support. And he truly meant it, Frank.
I'm sure that he did, Phil Rizzuto, and I know you were there at the press conference. In response to Billy's resignation, we have the verbatim statement from Yankee President Al Rosen, and I'll read it verbatim, and it is in quotes. In view of the events of the past 24 hours particularly, I, as president of the New York Yankees, have accepted Billy Martin's resignation as manager. However, because we are all deeply concerned about Billy's physical and emotional well-being, the Yankees stand ready to honor the salary commitments of Martin's contract through 1979. Unquote. And that is the statement of Yankee President Al Rosen. So what it boils down to is this: Billy Martin has resigned as president of the New York Yankees. The resignation has been accepted by Yankee President Al Rosen, and Billy's salary will be paid through 1979.
All right, Frank. I'm sure you meant as manager of the New York Yankees.
What'd I say?
As president.
As manager. Billy Martin, as president, has resigned as manager of the New York Yankees. Right.
That's all right. And now, the new manager, well, tonight, Dick Howser will be managing the Yankees, and he will be managing from his familiar spot in the third base coaching box. Because Dick said he feels more comfortable there. But late tonight, the new manager of the New York Yankees will arrive, Bob Lemon. And I think, Frank Messer, we will read things about Bob Lemon to the fans, but I think the Yankees are very fortunate to get a man like Bob Lemon, who had been the pitching coach for the Yankees, knows most of the Yankee pitchers now and players, and is very familiar with them, and it should not be that much of a chore coming in and managing this ball club.
No, I agree with you, Phil. It's got to be a good choice. He does know the pitchers, especially the younger pitchers on the ball club. He knows the personnel. And, of course, Bob Lemon, as we all know, has had experience not only as a pitching coach, but as a manager. And there is one other thing I have to think of. Bob Lemon was named as manager of the New York Yankees by Yankee President Al Rosen. They have been associated with one another for some 37 years now. It goes back to 1941. They were teammates. They know each other very, very well, both on the playing field and off the playing field. And I think, in my opinion, it has to be a settling or a buffer of any differences that might possibly arise, and we hope there won't be any more, between the players and the front office.
Well, Bob Lemon, I think, is the type manager. We know him as the man he is, who can ride out any storm if there should be a storm. He is very even-tempered. He can blow his stack when it needs to be blown, but he's the kind of guy that just evenly rides along, and we've seen him get the most out of the Yankee pitching staff when he was the pitching coach here. And, of course, we'll all be rooting for Bob Lemon to continue the success that the Yankees were enjoying under Billy Martin.
And, of course, as we all know, Bob Lemon is a member of baseball's Hall of Fame.
No doubt about that. I'll tell you why he's got to be a good manager, Frank. He's a Libran, born on September 22nd, just 3 days from my birthday, and I was born on September 25th. I'm a little surprised to see that I'm 4 years older than Lemon. Ball players notoriously lie about their age. I didn't think managers did. I know all catchers do. But anyway, Bob Lemon, born September 22nd, 1920 in San Bernardino, California. Married, has 3 sons, and lives in Long Beach, California.
And all the pressure is going to be on Bob Lemon now to publicly announce his age, because everybody wants to know how old Phil Rizzuto is. And we'll be back with tonight's ball game between the Yankees and the Kansas City Royals in just 1 minute.
I'm going to send you and your bug transmission back to the country you came from. You're trying to destroy me.
Don't send your foreign car into exile. Come to AMCO Transmissions. We have a thorough understanding of foreign cars. In fact, AMCO expertise has reunited more owners with their foreign cars than any other transmission specialist. At AMCO, we'll put you and your car back together again.
Hey, now you're speaking my language.
People use our money to get the most out of life.
100 years ago, a small company started lending money to consumers. and household finance was born. From the beginning, we've treated our customers with a concern for their needs and a belief that at HFC we really do help people get the most out of life. HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
Come on into HFC.
A reminder, this program is authorized by the New York Yankees solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the descriptions and or accounts of this game without the express consent of the New York Yankees is prohibited. Right now, we'll pause for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
78 degrees and cloudy at 810 WINS 1010 New York.
The starting lineups for tonight's game. For the New York Yankees, Mickey Rivers will be back in action in center field. Leading off, Willie Randolph bats second and plays second. In right field, batting third, Thurman Munson looking better and better out in right field. Chris Chambliss hitting in the cleanup spot at first base. At third base, batting fifth, Greg Nettles. Gary Thomason will be in left field and bat sixth. The designated hitter and red hot with the bat now, Roy White batting seventh. Catching and batting eighth, Mike Heath. And Fred Stanley will be batting ninth and playing shortstop. Pitching for the Yankees, Dick Tidrow. For the Kansas City Royals, George Brett at third base leading off. But right now, all the fans rising as the Mormon Tabernacle Choir will sing our national anthem. Right after this.
Gotta load the pickup truck. Gotta share a ride to work.
Gotta drop the groceries off. But first I've gotta stop and go.
People, all kinds of people, more than a million a day, keep their lives moving on by making a stop along the way. I go, the stop that keeps America going.
Every day, over 1 million people stop at Gulf for gasolines they know they can depend on. You can make your gasoline go further by following these tips from Gulf. Keep your engine tuned up. Combine your trips by doing as many things as you can at one time. Use carpools. Join friends and neighbors when you shop or go to work. And of course, keep your speed down. Driving is important, but so is the need to conserve gasoline. So use it wisely, and when it's time, stop at Gulf.
Gulf, the stop that keeps America going.
All right, the Kansas City Royals being introduced now. And for Kansas City, I mentioned George Brett leading off at third base. Hal Mcrae, the designated hitter, bats second. At first base and batting third, Pete Lecoq. Amos Otis, the center fielder, bats in the cleanup spot. Catching and batting fifth, Darrell Porter. Clint Hertl will be the right fielder, hitting sixth. In left field, batting seventh, Tom Poquette. Little Freddie Pacheck, the shortstop, bats eighth. And at second base, batting ninth, Frank White. On the mound for Kansas City, just walking in from the bullpen, Dennis Leonard. The umpires for tonight's game, calling balls and strikes, Durwood Merrill. At first base, Marty Springstead. The second base umpire, Larry Barnett. And over at third, Jim Evans. Well, the Royals now starting to pull away a little bit in their division. They are on a long winning streak. California and Texas. Texas especially. I see where Brad Corbett kicked down the clubhouse door. He was furious. The Rangers now 7.5 games behind Kansas City in the American League West. And he was really furious. As we told you, Minnesota defeated the Red Sox in the first game of a doubleheader 5-4. The winning pitcher was Jackson. He's 3-3. The loser, Dick Drago, 2-4. Mike Marshall got his 12th save of the year. And Glenn Borgman got his second home run of the year in the 5th inning with nobody on. They're playing the second game. It'll be Torres against Zahn. Seattle shut out Toronto 1-0 in a pitching duel. Honeycutt the winner 4-5. Lemanchik the loser 3-12. Played in an hour and 55 minutes. They have a doubleheader. California at Cleveland, no score at the end of an inning and a half. Hartzell against Wise. Baltimore at Texas later on, as is Milwaukee at Chicago and Oakland at Detroit. In the National League, Cincinnati playing the Mets. And we'll keep you posted on what Pete Rose does. Moscow going for Cincinnati and Zachary for the Mets. The end of 2, Atlanta nothing, the Phillies nothing. Solomon against Lundborg. Montreal at Houston, Chicago at Los Angeles later on. Dennis Leonard is out on the mound, and here to tell you about the young pitcher from New York is Frank Messer.
Okay, Phil Rizzuto, thank you very much. And Leonard is making his 24th start of the year. His 4th start this year against the Yankees. This season he has won 1 and lost 2 to the New York Ball Club. He leads the Royals in starts with 23, complete games with 12, innings pitched 172, and strikeouts 103. Leonard has won 4 straight and has posted an 8-3 mark in his last 12 outings. During his 4-game winning streak, all of which incidentally have been complete games, Leonard has allowed 27 hits and 5 earned runs for an ERA of 1.25, and he has struck out 21 men. Over those 12-game span, Leonard has pitched 98 innings with 92 hits, 33 runs, 24 earned runs, an overall 2.20 LERA. Last Thursday, he beat the Texas Rangers 2-1, going the distance, allowing 6 hits, 1 run, and 1 walk with 6 strikeouts. Last start before that, he did beat the Yankees. That was last weekend in New York. So he's ready to pitch right now to Mickey Rivers. Up there is a left-hand hitter. Rivers is batting .257, 5 homers, 26 runs batted in, and here we go. The first pitch of the ball game is a fastball high and away, and this game is underway. 1 ball, no strikes on Rivers. Randolph on deck, and then Munson. George Brett down the line at third base. The pitch coming, swung on and fouled. That'll be out of play back near the third base dugout. Darrell Porter, the catcher, gave it a brief run, but no chance. The Royals have Tom Poquette in left field, Amos Otis in center, and Clint Hertl, a rookie in right. Hertl, incidentally, the American League Player of the Week for the past week.
He must have been red hot. Park is doing a job for them, too.
Yes, he's been doing well. Hertl batted .391 for the past week, went 9 for 23 with 2 doubles, a triple, a home run, 8 runs batted in, and 16 total bases. 1-1 pitch to Mickey. Lined out to center field. Otis going back. He should catch it, and he does. And for one of the first times ever, Amos Otis used 2 hands on the catch.
They know this is an important ball game. That is unusual for Otis to use 2 hands. Mickey hit the ball well, the deepest part of the park, though.
This time of the evening, out here in Kansas City, the sun is still shining out in deep center field. The right fielder will have a little trouble, and in spots the left fielder. That'll last for only about another, 10 minutes or so. Willie Randolph steps in, right-hand hitter, batting .250, 3 homers, 20 runs batted in, and he hits a fly ball to center. Otis is under this one and picks it off one-handed. 2 outs, both on fly balls to center.
I remember the last time Frank Leonard pitched, there were an awful lot of fly balls. He's got that fastball that he keeps up. You get away with it here.
Leonard's one of those pitchers that has gotten stronger as the season has gone along. Early this year, he just couldn't win for anything, and now he has turned his season completely around. He'll look to Thurman Munson, the Yankee right fielder, batting .296, 5 home runs and 44 runs batted in. Leonard looks down to Darrell Porter. Munson has hit safely in 9 straight ball games. The pitch to him, fouled out of play as he tried to take it to right field. Longest Yankee hitting streak is Mike Heath's 13-game streak. Munson in 9 games has come up 41 times with 17 hits, a .415 average, 1 homer, 6 RBIs, 6 runs scored. His last 11 games, he has batted .388. This one is hit on the ground, right at the shortstop Pacheck. Freddie straightens and throws him out to retire the side in order. At the end of 1/2 inning, it's the Yankees nothing, and the Royals are coming to bat.
Say, Frank, who says Yoo-Hoo's just for kids?
Not so, Bill. Yoo-Hoo is for anybody who loves a delicious, refreshing chocolate drink.
It's Yogi's favorite.
Yep. Yogi loves Yoo-Hoo's cool, creamy chocolate taste.
That's because Yoo-Hoo is made with nourishing low-fat milk.
Right. And it's non-carbonated. Instead of filling you up, Yoo-Hoo keeps your action up.
For taste, refreshment, and nourishment, Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink is today's best soft drink value.
Yoo-Hoo, the drink of champions.
Try Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink from Iroquois Brands.
Plymouth announces a breakthrough in American automobiles. New Plymouth Horizon, the car you can drive in comfort and confidence on any kind of road.
Relax, Horizon can handle it.
Horizon gives you superb traction and stability in rain, in wind, in snow, because it's the first American-made car of its size with front-wheel drive. Horizon is loaded with standard features like rack and pinion steering, front disc brakes, AM radio, white wall radial tires, and front bucket seats. And the EPA estimated a manual transmission Horizon at 38 miles per gallon highway 25 city. Your mileage may differ. And Horizon is base priced at just $37.06, excluding taxes and destination charges. No wonder Motor Trend magazine is named Plymouth Horizon the car of the year. Anytime you want to go anywhere in comfort and confidence, relax. Horizon can handle it.
Well, we mentioned the fact that the new Yankee skipper will be Bob Lemon. And he'll be arriving tonight and will take charge of the club for tomorrow night's game. Bob, a Hall of Famer, had 7 20-game seasons. And that adds another dimension to the Yankees. With Lemon here, he was their pitching coach. They do have 2 pitching coaches right now, in Art Fowler and Clyde King, and it doesn't hurt to have another one.
Now, pitching is such an important part of the game of baseball, and this year the Yankees really, Phil, are having to go with a couple of young pitchers that they're relying so much on, with the veterans being hurt. I'm thinking primarily right now of Ken Clay, who just came off the disabled list, and Jim Beattie.
Right, Frank.
All right, we go to the bottom half of the first. George Brett leads off. Left-hand hitting third baseman is batting .314. Tidrow's first pitch. Fastball, but it's just a bit low for a ball. In his first at-bat at Shea Stadium tonight, Pete Rose of Cincinnati flied out to center field. Next pitch coming. Brett swings, bounces one hard right side. Chambliss has it, racing for the bag, and he is out unassisted. Brett hit that ball hard, but it came up on a nice chest-high hop to Chris Chambliss, who outraced Brett to first base, one down, and Hal Mcrae will step in.
Yankees have been playing outstanding defensive ball, Frank, in this latest 5-game winning streak. And they're going to need every bit of it here tonight against this club.
And, of course, we always mention this. They are playing on the artificial surface. The pitch to Mcrae hit in the outer right field. Munson is there, positioned perfectly, didn't have to move for it. Two down. And now Pete Lecoq, the first baseman. Lecoq, as Phil mentioned earlier, has been red hot. He's finally found a place to play, playing every day, and he's very happy about it. Lecoq is now the first baseman of the Royals. Batting .306, 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. He's a left-hand hitter. Normally hits to the opposite field. The Yankees spread the outfield on him. He takes high for a ball. We saw Lecoq pull a home run at Yankee Stadium, one of the few times I've seen him pull the ball with any sort of power to right field.
It was an off-speed pitch, Frank, that's why.
Fastball is fouled back. He had a good rip. The count is 1-1. No score here, bottom half of the first. Minnesota beat Boston 5-4 in the first game of a doubleheader at Bloomington. So at the moment, the Yankees are 9.5 games out of first place. But it is up to the Yankees now to continue their winning streak. course, you have to hope somebody else beats the Red Sox, but you have to be close enough to them so that if you beat them yourselves, you can be right back in the picture. Tidrow Wines and the 1-1 deal. Inside, jackknifes Lecoq. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Frank, Lecoq's going so well that Whitey Herzog has said that when Al Collins comes off the disabled list, he's going to leave Lecoq at first.
This pitch is foul back. I have a feeling he'll put Al Collins back in right field. He may put that kid Hertl over in left and rest Poquette.
You read my mind. That's exactly what Herzog said.
Is it?
Yep.
You scare me, Rizzuto. What are you, a Libran, you said?
Yep.
2-2 pitches coming. Outside, 3-2. So the count is full on Pete Lecoq. Boy, Hertl is playing right now. He can't afford to take him out. 3-2 deal. Here it is. And it's hit in the air to center field. Mickey Rivers moving a few steps to his right, sets up under it, and makes the catch. The side is retired in order at the end of 1 inning. It's the Yankees nothing, the Royals nothing.
When do you say Budweiser? Whenever the moment is right for a great beer. When do you say Budweiser? Whenever the good times are moving to right here. After the work is done, while you're still having fun, anytime's the right time to say it. When do you say Budweiser? Bud's a beer for any time at all. When you say Budweiser, the #1 beer is what you'll be drinking after the work is done. While you're still having fun, the king of beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
What's so funny, Phil?
Oh, Frank here thinks he's more famous than Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson? Frank, Reggie scored 10 runs in 1 World Series. 5 of them were homers. He set 9 new records.
He's even got a great new candy bar named after him. And boy, are those Reggie bars delicious. Crunchy peanuts, chewy caramel, a smooth chocolatey coating.
Okay, so the new Reggie bar is terrific. But I've got a whole sandwich named after me.
You do, Frank?
Sure. Haven't you ever heard of a Frankfurter?
Right on, Frank. We always knew you were a hot dog. Well, the Yankees come off this road trip, return to Yankee Stadium Wednesday night for the first of 3 games with the Indians. Thursday afternoon, the Yanks and Indians will clash in a rare weekday afternoon doubleheader. Of course, that twin bill includes the makeup of an earlier rainout. Tickets for all 3 games are now on sale at the stadium, at Ticketron, and all Yankee ticket outlets. So don't forget that doubleheader on Thursday afternoon will start at 1 p.m. Frank?
All right, Scooter, Chris Chambliss will lead off, and before he steps in, we'll step out 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
78 degrees and cloudy at 827 WINS 1010 New York.
Chambliss is batting .289, 6 home runs, 51 runs batted in. He'll be followed by Nettles and Thomason. Leonard winds and his pitch. Cut on and foul just behind the plate. This is an artificial ballpark all the way around. Surface I'm talking about. It is tartan turf, not the AstroTurf, but tartan turf. 330 to the foul poles, 410 to center, 385 to the alleys. Pitches outside. The count is 1-1. Beautiful ballpark, very comfortable for the fans. Every seat in this ballpark is situated so you're looking right at the center of the diamond. Curveball is over, and the count is 1-2 on Chambliss. Greg Nettles is waiting on deck. They play Chambliss deep on the infield. The outfield shaded round a bit toward right. He swings and he misses, strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Leonard, and his 104th on the year. And now Greg Nettles, the Yankee third baseman, batting .255. Nettles leads the Yankees in home runs with 17. He has 47 runs batted in, no triples, 11 doubles. Leonard winds, first pitch to the left-hand batter, off-speed pitch, high and away. Obviously, Nettles looking for a fastball on the first pitch, and he pulled a string on him. Now the pitch is inside, and the count is 2-0.
You know what Nettles is complaining about right now, Frank, to Durwood Merrill, that Pacheck does that, and you really shouldn't do it. He stands directly in line. Nettles cannot make a move, but Pacheck puts his arms up in the air and swings them around. I had Ted Williams tell me once, don't ever do that again, and I never did.
Outside pitch makes it 3-0. Pacheck does it, and he has done it as long as I can remember Pacheck in the league.
You're absolutely right there, Frank, but and there's no rule against not doing it. It's just professional courtesy.
3-0 pitch. And it's in for a called strike. Nettles was taking. As Phil mentioned to you earlier, Dick Howser, the manager tonight, is managing from the third base coaching line. The 3-1 delivery. Ball 4, low and outside. Nettles is on with a walk, and the Yankees have the game's first base runner. Of course, with Nettles up there and the way the Royals play him as a pull hitter, Pacheck is directly in Gregg's line of vision. So what do you do to cure an infielder if that's good?
There's nothing really you can do except go out and talk to a man-to-man, and say, I don't do anything when you're up at bat to distract you.
If you're Ted Williams' size, it helps a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Gary Thomason is the batter. Nettles down at first, the infield in double play depth. And a great base hit right back up the middle. Thomason ripped it right through the box. It got over second base before either White or Pacheck could make a move for it. Nettles stops at second, and Thomason is on. Well, the Yankees, with one out, have runners at first and second, and that's the first base hit of the ball game. I started to say Thomason has hit the ball well since joining the Yankees.
Frank, I was down on the field tonight, as we all were, and I picked up Gary Thomason's bat, and it is a beautiful feeling bat. It's 35 inches long and only 33 ounces, which gives it a beautiful swing weight.
All right, Thomason leads at first, Nettles at second. Roy White, the batter, hitting .252. The pitch to him. Breaking ball is over letter high. Strike one called. Roy, of course, batting left against the right-hander Dennis Leonard. Roy's hit 7 home runs. He has 24 runs batted in. Chance to get on the board right here in the second inning. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch, curveball low and inside. Leonard slows his pace down a bit with men on base. Nettles at second, Thomason at first. Now the right-hander has the sign from Porter. Comes set at the belt, double checks Nettles, and the pitch to White. Line down toward the left field corner. Has he sliced it foul? He has. Foul ball.
Ooh, that was close.
Headed right down there for the corner, but hit the wall, foul. It doesn't take a tremendous drive to hit one out if you hit it down the lines here. But it's an honest poke to what they call the home run alleys in left center and right center. And it's a drive and a half to center field. As we mentioned, 330 to the poles, then it breaks back 385, and then 410 to dead center. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Roy White. Leonard straightens up, hands at the belt. The kick and the pitch. Lined out into center field, base hit. Nettles is going to try to score. He's being waved on, and the throw is cut off at the mound, booted, and Thomason goes into third. First baseman Lecoq bobbled the throw. They would have had Thomason going into third. As it is, he booted it out on the mound on the cutoff, and Thomason is in third. The Yankees lead 1-0.
Oh, man, I tell you, that was exciting. They had Thomason dead to rights there, and Lecoq, in his anxiety to get the ball out of the glove, it popped right out. There has been no error put on the scoreboard. So he went to third on the throw to the plate.
Take awfully tough scoring ever to give an error on a play like that.
Mm-hmm.
But conceivably it could be done. Runners first and third, one out. A run across, and the batter is Mike Heath. 13-game hitting streak for the youngster. The pitch to him. Check swing, foul off on the right side. Try to check his swing on a breaking ball.
Frank, we were concerned because Rod Carew injured his shoulder yesterday stretching for a throw and couldn't play, but he did come in to pinch hit and doubled in 2 runs in the 6th inning. And it gave the Twins their margin of victory, 5-4 over the Red Sox.
I have to feel, although I don't know for sure, Jim Rice probably is not playing tonight for Boston.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. He did play.
Pitch now to Heath. Curve is inside. No, it is not inside. It got the corner, says Derwin Merrill, and it's strike 2.
Well, and Jim Rice was trying to fool somebody because he said yesterday he'd be out at least 3 days to a week, and he played and went 1 for 5. Of course, he is the designated hitter, and the only time he has to run is when he hits the ball.
Usually he hits the ball and walks around. 0-2 pitch will be coming. Here it is. And it is line foul out of play on the right side. One thing about this kid, Mike Heath, Phil Rizzuto, a youngster, started out as a shortstop, now a catcher, but I've never seen a young player so adept at going with the pitch and hitting the ball to the right side.
He does a good job there, Frank. The only pitch that really fools him is that sidearm breaking pitch. He steps in the bucket just a wee bit, but he does have the ability to go the opposite field, and he's a big man right now. Was first and third and 1 out. Any kind of a slow ground or a fly ball, and the Yankees got another run.
0-2 pitch will be coming. Here it is. Fastball, and it is low and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They play Heath straight away up the middle. The Royals hope for the double play. The Yankees hope for the base hit. The pitch to him. Cut on. Bounce slowly toward third. Brett has it. Goes to White. Force at second. No play to first. Run scores.
He hit it just softly enough, Frank. Keep him from getting a double play and gets another RBI.
That is Heath's 7th run batted in. The Yankees now lead by a score of 2-0. Heath at first base on the force out at second. Roy White forced from Brett to Frank White. Fred Stanley will step in. Stanley batting in the number 9 spot, hitting .236. They play him straight away in the infield. The outfield plays him to the offfield. He bounces one toward short. Fielded by Pacheck, who races to second to force Heath, and the Yankees are retired. The Yankees get 2 runs out of 2 hits and leave a man. At the end of 1.5, it's New York 2 and Kansas City nothing.
People use our money to get the most out of life, like a trip too far away, or something that you need today.
It all began 100 years ago. A small company started lending money to consumers. From that first loan, a company called Household Finance was born. And from the beginning, our customers have been treated with a concern for their needs and a belief that at HFC, we really do help people get the most out of life. Can we help you? HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
People use our money to get the most out of life. Come on into HFC.
There's an HFC office near you where you'll find people ready to help you get the most out of life. That's what HFC's been doing since 1878.
Hey, how about a bacon that cooks up crisp and lean every time you put it in the skillet? Great bacon. Great special cut bacon by Colonial. Special cut from the best part of the bacon for leanness and great taste. That's how Colonial makes sure that every time you get special cut bacon, you'll be serving the kind of quality and hearty flavor families love bacon for. So Sunday morning or any morning, serve the bacon that's always great. Special cut bacon. Cut from where the bacon is best so it tastes best. Colonial makes it.
Bottom half of the second inning, the Royals will have Amos Otis, Darrell Porter, and Clint Hertl coming up. Otis, a right-hand hitter. Manager Whitey Herzog has 5 left-hand batters and 4 right-hand hitters in his lineup tonight. Otis with a batting average of .280, 14 home runs, 54 runs batted in. He also has 17 doubles and 3 triples. This ballpark is very conducive to the two-base hit. The hard surface allows the ball to really take off. Defensively, you have to play the alleys. You know the ball down the line is going to be an extra base hit anyway, and you try to cut off the extra base hit in the alleys. So for most hitters, the outfield will bunch. Munson in right center right now. Thomason in left center, and Rivers shaded toward right field. Pitch to the right-hand hitting Otis is a ball low and away. Otis can hit to all fields. Next pitch to him. Breaking ball is fouled out of play on the right side. 1-1. The Yankees lead it 2-0 here in the bottom half of the second inning. The Twins defeated the Red Sox 5-4 in the first game of a doubleheader at Bloomington, Minnesota. And Pete Rose did not get a hit his first time up tonight. The 1-1 pitch. A ball outside. Breaking ball from Tidrow.
You know, Frank, with Pete Rose, all the interest centered on him. That kid Jack Clark with the Giants has hit in 25 consecutive games.
That's right. He set a new Giants team record.
That's right. I'm surprised to see that Willie McCovey was one of them, tied the prior record.
2-1 pitch, hit in the air to right field, fairly deep. Munson turns around in a circle, back, looking up, and at the track, makes the catch on the warning track. Well, Thurman Munson went around in a complete circle, but he picked the ball up again and made the catch.
Well, we told you that Thurman gives you a thrill out there, but anything he gets to, he grabs. Mickey Rivers over now talking with him.
Otis gave that one a long ride to the opposite field. Munson was back on the track. The ball was hit about 375 to 80 feet.
Well, you were right, Frank, the way they bunch him. He doesn't hit down either line that well, but his power is to center, right, and left center.
Darrell Porter now, a .282 hitter with 8 home runs, 44 runs batted in. Left-hand batter takes a pitch inside at the knees, ball 1. Porter has always hit well against the Yankees. He hit well against them at Milwaukee. He's hit even better against them since he came to Kansas City. He takes a curve down in the dirt. Tidrow ready to work again, and does, and gets a strike on the inside corner. The Royals have Steve Busby at first and Chuck Hiller at third on the coaching lines. Foul ball is pumped just past the Royals dugout. Almost took a cameraman out of the play. 2-ball, 2-strike count, 1 out. The Yankees lead 2-0. Been just a beautiful day and a beautiful evening out here in Kansas City. Temperature is down. Humidity is down. 2-2 pitch. Slow breaking ball. Down low, 3-2. Usually this time of year it's around 100 degrees out here, but I don't think it hit 90 today, did it?
No.
Low humidity. 3-2 pitch. Walked him. Ball 4 is outside, and Porter is on. And that brings up the rookie, Clint Hertl, the American League Player of the Week. 391 hitter for the past week. On the year, he's batting .264, 4 home runs, 39 runs batted in. He drove in 6 runs in Friday's game against the Boston Red Sox, did Hertl. He takes a breaking ball down low. He hit a 3-run homer off Dennis Eckersley in that game. He's the first Royal player to be named Player of the Week this year.
He's a good fastball hitter, Frank. Has a little problems with the off-speed pitching.
1-0 pitch to him. And he hits it on the ground to short. Stanley up, goes to Randolph, 1, back to first. It's a double play. 6-4-3. The side is retired. End of 2. The score. New York 2 and Kansas City nothing.
I've got grease on my fingers, oil on my shoes. I'm always under the hood, but I wouldn't change places with anyone else, even if I could. I worked on every car, big and small, every kind of engine too. And there's one thing that applies to them all, whether they're old or new. You can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy
Five red blood, no matter where you are, the champion.
Champion's number one in the world.
They're number one in your car.
Some folks don't mind working in a big place, being part of a team. I prefer just me and that engine, nobody in between. If you can't buy better blood for any kind of car, the champion. If you can't buy better blood, no matter where you are, the champion. Champion's number one in the world.
They're number one in your car.
No, you can't
buy better blood for any kind of car, the champion.
You can't
buy better blood, no matter where you are, the champion.
Come on, get fresh, get closer to me. You smell so fine in English leather lime.
Then get fresh with English leather lime from head to toe. Come on, get fresh because
if you want to get close to her, first you gotta get fresh.
Come on, get fresh, get closer to me. You smell so fine in English leather.
The Minnesota Twins lead the Boston Red Sox 1-0 at the end of one inning in their second game, and listen to this. Boston pitcher Mike Torres was thrown out of the ball game for bumping an umpire disputing a ball call in the first inning. So Mike Torres has been ejected from the ball game. He's the Red Sox starting pitcher, and Bill Campbell has come on to pitch in the very first inning for Boston. Jeff Zahn is on the mound for Minnesota, and the Twins lead 1-0, end of one, after winning the first game 5-4. Left-hander Darrell Jackson getting the win over Dick Drago. Seattle beat Toronto 1-0 on a three-hitter by Honeycutt, defeating LeManchik. First game a doubleheader, second game scoreless, end of two, and I'll give you other scores in a moment. Right now we go to the third, and with the play-by-play, here's Phil Rizzuto.
All right, Frank. Mickey Rivers flied hard and deep to center. He hits one to left center now, but there is Tom Poquette, the left fielder. One hands it, and there's one away.
And now 20 seconds for our local stations to identify themselves.
It's 78 degrees and cloudy at 8:45 WINS 1010 New York. Our top stories: Bailey Martin is out as manager of the Yankees. Bob Lemon, former manager of the White Sox, replaces him. Executive Council of the New York Metro Area Postal Union authorizes strike vote by its 26,000 members. All right, Willie Randolph, who also lined hard to center field, takes the strike. Both teams coming out cutting and slashing, not taking many pitches. Dennis Leonard swings into the windup. Pitch to Willie, a curve low, 1-1. Showed you Dick Howser, the interim manager for tonight's game. Bob Lemon will be here tonight. Low, 2 balls and a strike. They give Willie a pretty good gap in left center field. Otis shading him to right center. And Willie bunts. It's a dandy. They'll never get him. They let it roll. And picking it up and taking a bite out of it is Dennis Leonard. Beautiful bunt single. You know, I was telling these Huckleberries before the game, they kept saying to me, the ball plays, you can't bunt on artificial turf. That was as beautiful a bunt as I've seen.
To make the bunt successful, I think you have to get it down in that dirt around the plate first of all to get the spin off the ball.
Right, Frank, but you got better than 6-8 feet down there, you know, to get that first bounce. If you do bounce the first one on the carpet, then you're in trouble.
You got another thing going on your side. Nobody is looking for it on the artificial surface.
Right. All right, Thurman Munson bounced out hard to Pacheck his first time up. That was the third hit for the Yankees. Willie Randolph at first. With one out, the Yankees lead 2-0 here in the top of the third. Leonard sets. There goes Willie. Munson swings, misses, throw to second, and he's safe. What a beautiful slide by Randolph. The throw actually beat Willie, but it was to the shortstop side of second base. Pacheck and White are arguing with second base umpire Larry Barnett, but a beautiful head-first slide, and all Pacheck had to go to tag Frank were his fingers.
That's very true, and if you ever saw a dry surface swan dive, that was it.
Wasn't that beautiful?
It was. He went about the last 6 or 8 feet right through the air.
Yep. All right, a strike to Munson. Now the Yankees with another running in scoring position. Leonard sets. Randolph a good lead at second. And the pitch to Munson. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Thurman kind of jumped at that ball. It was low, breaking pitch.
Now Therm's got to protect that plate as he stands with his legs crossed.
I think that's a classic example of a guess hitter right there.
Oh, yeah. That time he was going for the downs no matter where it was. 0-2 on Munson. One man out. Leonard leans forward to get the sign. Now to the belt. And the pitch just missed outside. Oh, Leonard wanted that one. Man, that was close.
Leonard thought he had Munson set up very well for that fastball. Just missed the outside corner.
Again, Amos Otis slightly to right center field on Thurman Munson. And they give Thurman a lot of room right down the left field line. Clint Hertl about straight away in right field. Infield, of course, on this artificial turf, as Frank told you, they can play 6-7 steps deeper. The stretch by Leonard. Curve swing and a miss, and he got him. Munson went after 2 bad breaking pitches that time at bat. Leonard chalks up his second strikeout. And Chris Chambliss will be the batter, and Chris struck out his first time up. Again on a breaking ball.
One thing a visiting infielder has to remember, too, here, he'll play back deeper, but you have to remember that throw to first base is going to be longer in most instances.
Right. Well, they fortunately have strong arms in Brett, Pacheck, and White.
Well, they're used to. I'm thinking about the team visiting.
Oh,
here.
yes, absolutely. Chambliss takes a curve down low, ball 1.
I'll tell you, the Kansas City infield is tailor-made for this kind of ballpark. Frank White, the only player they brought up through their academy, to my knowledge, that's made it big in the major leagues. Pacheck has always had a good arm. Brett is getting better with his throws.
You're right. He's always been strong, had been a little erratic. All right, 1 ball, no strikes on Chambliss. And the pitch to Chris, swing and a miss at another breaking pitch, 1-1.
Just set the record straight. We have a correction from the Minnesota-Boston game. Torres was thrown out of the game for bumping an umpire disputing a balk call. First report said ball call, but a balk call.
All right. Randolph at second with 2 out. Yankees leading 2-0. The pitch bounced over the pitcher's head. Pacheck will make the play. Flips. I tell you, that little guy can really motor. He came all the way from shortstop to the second base side of the bag and threw him out. For the Yankees, no runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. At the end of 2.5, Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
Give me transmission problems, huh? You lemon?
Before you trade in your car for a more expensive model, come to Amco Transmissions. We'll take you through our procedures step by step so you'll know the job we recommend is the right one. And the price we quote won't be an estimate. It'll be a firm price. At Amco, we'll put you and your car back together again.
I'm going to get you new seat covers.
Get a piece of the action. Get Yoo-Hoo chocolate action drink.
If you're getting bored with ordinary soft drinks, put a little Yoo-Hoo in your life. Best tasting soft drink ever. Creamy, smooth, super chocolate flavor. Yoo-Hoo's unbelievably delicious.
Get a piece of the action. Get Yoo-Hoo chocolate action drink.
And Yoo-Hoo is today's best soft drink value. Ordinary soft drinks are made with water. Yoo-Hoo adds nourishing low-fat milk. Milk costs more than water. That's what makes Yoo-Hoo better. And Yoo-Hoo's non-carbonated. Instead of filling you up, keeps your action up. Great with snacks, too.
Get a piece of the action. Get Yoo-Hoo chocolate action drink.
Yoo-Hoo is Yogi Berra's favorite action drink, the chocolate drink of champions. And Yoo-Hoo is today's best soft drink value. Get Yoo-Hoo from Iroquois Brands.
Saturday is Old Timers Day, and coming back to celebrate the Yankees' record 5 straight world championships of a quarter century ago are almost 30 Yankee greats plus some 25 opponents. They'll include Hall of Famers Bob Feller, Bob Lemon. You got to put a Yankee uniform on Leonard now, or are you going to leave the Cleveland uniform on him for Old Timers Day?
I think it'll be Cleveland, really, for that day.
All right, for that Old Timers Day, he'll be an Indian, but for the regular game, he'll be manager of the New York Yankees. Also coming back, Al Lopez, Monty Irvin, and Eddie Matthews, all from the Hall of Fame, as well as Al Rosen, Carl Erskine, Ralph Franca, Bobby Thompson, Junior Gilliam, Tony Oliva, and Bobby Avila. That'll be next Saturday, Yankee Stadium, Old Timers Day.
All right, Frank, Tom Poquette, the batter, takes a strike on the inside corner. Poquette batting .224. 3 homers, 24 runs batted in. Yankees in front, 2-0, bottom of the third. Tidrow kicks, delivers low and inside, 1-1. Tidrow should be well rested. He was sent home from Chicago to get a good night's sleep. Doesn't live too far away from this ballpark. The 1-1 pitch, just inside, 2-1. The 2-1 delivery, hit back towards the middle to his left, Stanley, and back of the bag, fires to first, 1 out.
Have this note on Pete Rose, Scooter. He still has not had a base hit. In his second time at bat, he grounded into a force play, so he is 0 for 2.
All right. Facing a tough pitcher tonight in Zachary for the Mets. Freddie Pacheck will be the batter. Little guy batting .276, 1 homer, 37 runs batted in. Holds that bat right down on the end, lays it on the right shoulder, and looks at a ball. On deck, Frank White. Tidrow's 1-0 delivery is right in there, strike one call.
Let's get the feeling of laying the bat on the shoulders just to relax the hitter for a second just before the pitch is thrown.
You're right, Frank. It's a good idea. The 1-1 pitch, swing, ground ball to second. Randolph right there, up with it. Flips to Chambliss, and there are 2 away. Before we talk about laying the bat on the shoulder, one thing the Yankee infielders and outfielders have to remember, and we saw it happen to Willie Randolph, the ball comes to you so quickly, sometimes you don't get your glove down soon enough. But laying that bat on the shoulder is relaxing. And some fellas that hold it up high, they're so tense that it throws their timing off. Pacheck has really got it timed well now, because he's changed many, many stances. Looks like he's settled on this one. Frank White enjoying a good year, batting .278, 3 homers, 30 RBIs, takes the pitch down low, ball 1.
And there's another player with a bat laid right across his shoulder. They have an outstanding hitting instructor here in Charlie Lau. A lot of players just swear by him.
Well, I tell you, when he's that successful. Tidrow gets the sign. Fastball in there, strike one called, 1-1.
Talk to ball players about hitting instructors. They mention 3 names primarily. That of Charlie Lau, Harry Walker, and not to forget Wally Moses.
Wally Moses.
Wally was a generation ago.
Yep. Yankees lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Tidrow winds. His pitch hit back through the middle of base hit. I tell you, that almost took Tidrow's right leg off. Hit the mound and kicked right on out to center field. That's the first hit for the Royals. And Frank White, the 9th batter in the lineup, got it.
The third baseman, George Brett.
All right, before George Brett steps in, a reminder, some of our pregame guests receive a gift pack of toiletries from Yovan. The earthy fragrance of Yovan Musk Oil, Aftershave, Moisturizing Balm, Stick Deodorant, and Shower Soap.
All right, Frank. George Brett, who bounced out hard to first base. There goes White. And Heath's throw. They got him. What a throw by Heath. Holy cow. It had to be perfect to get him, and Heath threw a bullet about 6 inches off the ground. Stanley caught it, and White slid right into the tag. 2-6. Beautiful play. No runs a hit, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 3, Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find our name is known. You can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery.
The Delco Freedom Battery is truly maintenance-free. It never needs water, so the power is sealed in. Get freedom. You'll say, thanks, Delco.
You're welcome.
They've got the stuff when the start is tough. You can trust a Delco. Thanks, Delco. Delco Freedom Battery. Delco, thanks, Delco.
Where the
friends, with family, with people going places, seeing all there is to see. Where the ride is always sure and smooth, you'll find a trusted friend you've always known. It's Firestone. Firestone, Firestone, Firestone. Where the family car is moving, where a night truck fights the rain, where the race cars scream around the track, where the tractors farm the plain, wherever wheels are rolling, no matter what the load, the name that's known as Firestone, where the rubber meets the road. Firestone, Firestone, Firestone.
Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
78 degrees and cloudy at 8:59, WINS 1010, New York.
Seattle shut out Toronto 1-0 in the first game. Seattle leads 1-0 into 3 in the nightcap. California-Cleveland scoreless at the end of 4.5. Baltimore got 2 runs in the first inning. The Texas Rangers are now batting. And let's see, Milwaukee-Chicago, no score at the end of 1. Sorensen and Stone. Detroit 2, Oakland 1 at the end of 2 innings. The Reds and the Mets are tied 1-1 at the end of 2.5. Atlanta leads the Phillies 5-0 at the end of 4.5. Montreal 0. Houston batting in the first. Chicago and Los Angeles a later start. And we told you earlier, Minnesota beat Boston 5-4 in their first game.
All right, Frank, Greg Nettles fouls the first pitch off, strike one. Greg walked and scored in the second inning.
Minnesota leads 1-0. Boston is batting in the second inning of the nightcap.
So it's conceivable that Mike Torres, even though he didn't pitch a full inning, could be the losing pitcher in that game, because he argued on a balk there must have been a man on base, and they scored 1 run.
That's right.
At the bottom of the first.
That's right. He argued on the balk call and got thrown out.
All right, the 1-strike pitch to Nettles, way outside, 1-1. It's unbelievable. No other club overshifts on Nettles the way the Kansas City Royals do. Brett is all alone between second and third. And Pacheck playing on the second base side of the bag. Outside, and that's strange. They're pitching him outside and yet playing him to pull the ball. And Greg lately has been getting some hits to the opposite field, Frank.
Yes, he has. He can hit the ball to the opposite field. Just has to make up his mind to it.
All right, the 2-1 delivery. And he tried to go that way. A swing and a miss. It's 2-2.
Every team predicates their defense on the charts they keep. Even though they have scouts that see the Yankees ahead of time, the Royals rely mainly on the charts, the way the batters have hit against them previously.
There's a line drive over the head of Pacheck. He had played him perfectly, but he was about 1.5 feet too short. He was exactly in line where the ball was hit. A line single for Greg Nettles.
What he's saying is he had him played perfectly, but he was on the ground.
Right. I tell you, that's the one thing we midget shortstops had a disadvantage. Those line drives. Fellas like Marty Marion didn't have to jump.
Just looking out toward the Yankee bullpen, and Sparky Lyle is warming up very, very quickly.
All right, Gary Thomason, who singled to center and scored, is up there. Takes a curve, low ball, 1.
You have to wonder if something happened to Tidrow, because Lyle is throwing hard out there in the pen, and now he stopped throwing. We'll watch and see if he grabs his jacket, if he has one out there, and is ready to head in.
I certainly hope not. Tidrow has been pitching beautifully. Throw to first, and Nettles is back. Nobody out here. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Leonard sets. And the pitch, he check it. He didn't check it. It's called a strike by the third base umpire, Jim Evans. It's 1-1. Nettles is first, has now hit in 4 straight games, which he's had 8 base hits and 13 at-bats. Pete Lecoq holding first against Nettles. Quick throw over there, Greg back.
Looking at the bullpen, Sparky is now sitting down on the bench in the bullpen.
Well, you never know what Sparky's going to do, Frank. He's liable to do anything. Leonard to the belt. His pitch, swing and a miss at a breaking pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leonard has had great success with his breaking pitch tonight. And he's going to it more now. Thomason with good power to left and left center. And again, Otis is shading him over in right center, even though he's a left-hand batter. Nettles with a good lead at first. Stretch by Leonard. And a curve swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for the right-hander. And it will bring up Roy White. Roy single to center to drive in the first run of the ball game. And Roy is red hot.
Update from Minnesota, 1-0 Twins at the end of 2.5 innings.
Tell you, the Red Sox got only 6 hits in that first game, Frank. And not only are they not hitting, but their bullpen's going to be suffering now, and they got to call them in to start and come in early. First pitch to White, ball 1.
I'll tell you, they are in a little trouble pitching. They started Tom Bergmeyer in the first game of that doubleheader, and they relieved with Bill Campbell in the first inning of the second game when Torres got thrown out.
Nothing can mess up your pitching staff like getting those relief pitches too much work. All right, Nettles still at first with 1 out. Yanks in front 2-0, top of the 4th. Quick throw to first. Whoa, very close. Leonard with an excellent move, but Nettles jumped back in time.
In that first game, they also brought Dick Drago in the 5th inning.
Wow. Leonard sets again. And the pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
You ever try to read a box score through orange juice?
No, but it should be interesting.
Flies keep walking all over, and I'm trying to read that Red Sox box score.
All right, Nettles leads away. Leonard kicks, delivers, slow ground to the third. Brett goes to second base. They got 1, back to first. Double play. Hit it right off the end of the bat, around the horn, double play, 5-4-3. No runs to hit, no errors, nobody left at the end of 3.5. Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
People use our money to get the most out of life.
Do you have a dozen reasons why you can't take a vacation this summer? Well, Household Finance has one good reason why you can. It's the HFC Vacation Loan for that week in the mountains or at the beach. Come on into HFC. Ask about a vacation loan. HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
Come on into HFC.
Rickle Home Center presents another episode of Under One Roof.
Fred, do you know the paint in this house is 10 years old today?
Happy birthday, dear paint.
And its furniture, it's early orange crate.
I prefer to call it fruit of the limb.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Fred, you're at the end of your limb, and I'm sewing fast.
Can I help it if I march to the beat of a different drummer?
I'll give you a different drum beat if you don't go to Rickle Home Center. They've got all the furniture and paint you need.
At the Rickle Fantastic Paint Sale, you'll save $4 to $5 on every gallon of house paint in stock, including high-quality Sapelin, Rickle exterior paint, Weather Bright, and Sherwin-Williams. Choose from over 2,000 decorator colors, including non-yellowing white. The sale ends Wednesday, so hurry into Rickle tonight.
New personality.
Rickle helps you do it better. Do it better with Rickle.
Be sure to save your Rickle colored register tapes for a free Swiss watch. Come in for details. This weekend, the Minnesota Twins and Rod Carew will make their last visit of the season to Yankee Stadium. See the Yankees battle the Twins Friday night, Saturday afternoon, which is Old Timers Day, and in a doubleheader Sunday afternoon. That twin bill includes the makeup of an earlier rainout. Tickets are now on sale at Yankee Stadium, Ticketron, and all Yankee ticket outlets.
Personality.
Rickle helps you do it better. Do it better with Rickle.
Be sure to save your Rickle colored register tapes for a free Swiss watch. Come in for details. This weekend, the Minnesota Twins and Rod Carew will make their last visit of the season to Yankee Stadium. See the Yankees battle the Twins Friday night, Saturday afternoon, which is Old Timers Day, and in a doubleheader Sunday afternoon. That twin bill includes the makeup of an earlier rainout. Tickets are now on sale at Yankee Stadium, Ticketron, and all Yankee ticket outlets. For those of you like two for the price of one, remember, two doubleheaders at Yankee Stadium this week. Thursday afternoon with Cleveland and Sunday afternoon with the Minnesota Twins. First games start at 1 o'clock.
All right, Frank. George Brett, who was at bat when Frank White was thrown out trying to steal, leads off here in the bottom of the fourth. Yanks lead 2-0. He hits a long drive to left, going back. Thomason back on the warning track by the fence. One hands it one step away from the left field wall. So they get the tough George Brett out. Brett up there batting .313. And now Hal Mcrae, who lined hard to Munson his first time up.
I'll tell you, the more I watch Gary Thomason, the more I enjoy watching him play. He just drifted back with that ball, very graceful. As Phil told you, only one step away from the fence. He made the catch and just barely brushed the boards.
Good all-around ball player. Tidros started to wind up, step back. I know you like that, Frank. I stepped on your lines right there, but...
Better my lines than my corns.
First pitch, a little bit low, ball one. One out, nobody on. Yankees leading 2-0. Hit the outside corner, 1-1. McRae stands deep in the box, steps in towards every pitch. You would think he'd have trouble with that outside pitch, but an excellent opposite field hitter. And he pops this one up. It's playable. Mike Heath coming back near the stands. And Mike makes the catch, and they're a two away. So two quick outs here in the bottom of the fourth. And the batter will be Pete Lecoq, who has flied to center field his first time up. Dick Tidrow, even though he allowed two men to reach base, a walk in the second and a single in the third, has pitched to the minimum amount of men so far, 11, because Hertl hit into a double play in the second and Frank White was caught stealing. So he's pitched only 3 men in each of the first 3 innings. And that makes it a nice, easy night for the pitcher. Lecoq batting .304, 4 homers, 24 RBIs, takes a pitch outside, ball one. On deck, Amos Otis. Tidrow's next pitch is on the inside corner, 1-1. Tidrow checks the sign from Heath, shakes him off a couple of times. And the 1-1 delivery, a bouncing ball up towards the middle. Randolph has it, off-balance throw will not be in time. And it's an infield single for Pete Lecoq. I was hoping Randolph would flip the ball to Fred Stanley coming across as though they were making a double play. Of course, Randolph could get nothing on that ball. He was moving towards left field and had to throw back over his left shoulder. That's the second hit for the Royals, and Amos Otis will be the batter. Otis fly deep to Munson in right field. 2 men are out. Yanks in front, 2-0, bottom of the fourth. Lecoq at first base. Tidrow's got to keep the ball down to Otis. He does, and it's just inside, ball one. Tidrow thought he had that pitch. I'm sure all of you know by now that Billy Martin has resigned as manager of the New York Yankees. Dick Howser is the interim manager tonight. Bob Lemon will arrive tonight and manage the club from tomorrow night on. It's a cruel world, but baseball has to go on. That pitch is low. Heath bluffs the throw to first, and it's 2-0. Rivers deep and over towards right center. Thomason and Munson straight away in left and right field. Time is called. Otis, another one of those hitters, takes a long time getting ready in the batter's box. Now they're set. The kick and the pitch is bounced foul. Outside of third, 2 balls and a strike. Not a full house here tonight. Do see some seats down the left field line and right field line. Nevertheless, another excellent crowd to see the Yankees. Yankees still a big draw wherever they go. McCock with a short lead at first. Pitch to Otis. High and outside, 3-1.
You know, Phil, the Yankees lead the league in road attendance over 1 1/3 million, 1,335,000.
All right. This will bring it up. 3-1 the count now. Tidrow's got to be a little careful. The stretch and the pitch down low, ball 4. Oh, for the first time in the ball game, the Royals have a runner at second base. McCock at second, Otis at first. Heath goes out to talk with Tidrow. And Darrell Porter, who walked his first time up, will be the batter. He's still talking with Tidrow out on the mound. Long talk. And now Durwood Merrill going up, trying to break up the huddle. Royals have won 9 in a row. And as we mentioned, they're opening the distance between themselves and second place California Angels. All right, they're ready to go. Porter steps in, batting .282, 8 homers, 44 RBIs. Otis with a tremendous lead off first. High fly, that should do it. Easy chance for Mickey Rivers. Nick is under it, makes the catch. So Tidrow gets out of the jam. No runs, a hit, no errors. 2 men left at the end of 4. Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
Just wait till I get my hands on that Reggie.
Frank.
There won't be anything left.
Frank, wait. Before you do anything drastic, remember that Reggie set 9 new records. Remember his 5 home runs?
Well, this time he's really done it. That new candy bar of his is terrific.
New candy?
Sure, the Reggie bar, that chewy caramel, those crunchy peanuts, that smooth chocolatey coating. It's delicious.
I don't understand. What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing except just thinking about it makes me hungry. And I can't wait till break time so I can get my hands on...
Oh, a Reggie bar.
The day is done. Coming home. It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. Welcome home. So just say bud. And pour the king of beers and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of blood is like an easy chair. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
All right, Yankees lead it 2-0. Past first 4 innings. And as we go into the top of the 5th inning, it'll be Heath, Stanley, and Rivers, and also Frank Messer.
All right, Scooter, Mike Heath will try to extend his hitting streak now. He grounded into a forced play, but he drove in a run in the 2nd inning. 13-game hitting streak on the line for the youngster. And as Phil told you, he'll be followed by Fred Stanley and then Mickey Rivers. Mike Heath right now is tied with Lou Piniella for the longest Yankee hitting streak of the year. In the 13 games, Mike has had 15 hits in 48 at-bats. Right-hand hitter and will take the outside pitch to right field, or try to. he doesn't try to pull everything thrown to him. Leonard winds and deals. Fastball is over. Strike one. The Yankees scored their 2 runs in the second with 1 out. Nettles walked, Thomason single, Roy White single for 1, and Heath grounded into a force play in which a run scored. He bunts down the third base side. It is foul. Mike Heath has been a pupil of Phil Rizzuto's in the bunting cage. Usually he'll try once during a ball game to bunt for the base hit. The count now is 0-2 on him, so he will be swinging away. The right fielder Hertl plays him fairly shallow and over toward the line. The center fielder Otis shades him toward right, and the left fielder Poquette is over in the gap in left center. Heath steps out. Time is called. The infield plays him a step or two toward the first base side, but they don't play him tight on either corner. Now the wind and the 0-2 pitch. Way outside, backhanded by the catcher Darrell Porter. Dennis Leonard in his 24th start, 11 wins and 11 losses. Came in with an earned run average of 3.5. He rocks and offers. Curveball is pulled foul. Heath was looking for it, and he pulled it foul. Sixth inning score. Atlanta leads the Phillies 5-0 still. Fifth inning score. The Mets lead the Reds 2-1. Pete Rose went hitless his first 2 times up tonight. Leonard into the wide. The right-hander kicks and delivers. Curveball is hit right at the third baseman. Brett, he is up with it on 1 hop and throws Heath out. 1 down. And now Fred Stanley. Stanley grounded into an unassisted force play by the shortstop Pacheck to end the second inning. Pete Rose is now 0 for 3, flied to center on his 3rd time at bat. Phil Rizzuto tells me 0 for 3 Rose. Pitch to Stanley, down low for a ball. One-0 delivery, down low again. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, we mentioned to you before, I know I didn't, Scooter may have told you, that Glenn Borgman hit a home run for the Minnesota Twins in their first game. New Jersey lad. His second of the year. All right, the 2-0 pitch here. Stanley takes ball 3.
At 11:30, call your answering service, please.
Still daylight out here in Kansas City. 3-0 delivery. Strike call, letter high.
The way this game is going, Frank, we could finish in daylight because they started at 10 after 7.
First time we've had a break all year on the ABC Game of the Week, isn't it?
Yep.
Getting early start instead of a late start. 3-1 delivery is hit in the air to right center field. Amos Otis will be there when it comes down. He sets up, and the center fielder has it for out number 2. Normally, they start their ball games here in Kansas City at 7:30 local time, which would be 8:30 New York time. But in deference to national television, they started tonight at 7:10 local time. So we picked up 20 minutes. Mickey Rivers, the batter, left-hand hitter, swings and fouls one back. Rivers has lined to center and flied to left. The Yankees are leading by a score of 2-0 here in the top half of the 5th inning. Leonard is ready to work and does. And a check swing foul out of play. Rivers just laid the bat down. He may have had a notion to bunt that ball. No balls and 2 strikes.
I'd like to see Mickey do that more often, Frank. Remember in Chicago, he just butcher boyed one by the third baseman?
Yes. Now the 0-2 pitch to him. Hit on the ground, back up the middle, base hit.
Frank, just as Leonard was about to deliver that pitch, Pacheck moved to his right towards third base. And Rivers very alertly saw he just punched that ball by the pitcher. Pacheck does that a lot. You could really pick up the sign of what is expecting to come. On a fastball to a left-hand batter, he'll move to his right. On a breaking ball, he'll move to his left. And just the opposite with a right-hand hitter up.
And that's something else. We've talked about this in prior years. Pacheck has done that for a long time.
Always has done it. Nobody's brought it to his attention.
All right, there's Rivers down at first with 2 outs, and Willie Randolph, the batter. Throw to first. Rivers gets back. Randolph bunted for a base hit and stole a base in the 3rd inning. We'll keep an eye on Mickey. He gets back ahead of a throw. The outfield plays Randolph around to the right side. Pacheck and White really jam up the middle on Willie. There goes Rivers, pitch out, throw to second base, and he's out at second. Waters smelled that one, called for a pitch out, and Rivers is out at second base. So the Yankees retired into 4.5. The score, New York 2 and Kansas City nothing.
Well, you've got that feeling again. The feeling that this could be the year, that Yankee Stadium could be the place, that this Yankee team could be the team. When you've got a feeling like that, enjoy it with a Yankees Frank. Because Yankees Franks have the taste that takes you out to the ball game even when you're listening at home. Go ahead, bite into one. You can almost taste the pennant. Yankees Franks. Colonial makes them.
He gives a better deal on a better car, and he sells at a better price. He gives a better deal on a greater car. So good, you gotta say price.
Service is the name of the game at Francis Chevrolet. If something goes wrong with your car, bring it to us for service. Even if we didn't sell you the car, we'll fix the other guy's mistake. So if your car's broken down, come on round to Francis Chevrolet. 777 Lyons Avenue in Irvington for the best service in town. We try harder, and our servicemen are at your service. When it comes to servicing cars, remember Francis Chevrolet.
He gives a better deal on a better car, and he sells at a better price. He gives a better deal on a greater car. So good, you gotta say price.
Francis Chevrolet, 777 Lyons Avenue in Irvington, where we are twice as nice.
Old Timers Day will be held at Yankee Stadium this Saturday afternoon. We mentioned earlier some of the all-time Yankee opponents who have been invited and accepted invitations. For the Yankees, you'll have Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, and Whitey Ford from the Hall of Fame, Phil Rizzuto, Roger Maris, Tommy Henrich, Charlie Keller, Gene Woodling, Johnny Mize, Allie Reynolds, Vic Raschi, Joe Pepitone, and Bobby Brown, to name a few. Old Timers Day this Saturday afternoon at Yankee Stadium. Clint Hertl leads off the bottom half of the 5th. Left-hand hitter grounded into a double play his first time up. They play him straight away, and the pitch is hit down the left field line. It's going to be a foul ball and out of the reach of Gary Thomason. There's no wind at all here in Kansas City tonight. The flag is hanging limp out on the pole. Next pitch coming. Curve is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Yankees lead 2-0. We're in the bottom half of the 5th. The pitch hit on the ground through the box to his right. Randolph is up with it near the bag. Throws to first in time. Hertl is up. And now left-hand hitting Tom Poquette. Hal Collins came off the disabled list for the Royals today. But as was mentioned earlier, he is going to be held out of regular action for a few more days to be sure he is completely over his problems. When he comes back, Poquette may sit down with Hertl moving over to left field and Collins going back to his right field spot. Pitch to Poquette, hit in the air to center field. Easy chance for Mickey Rivers. He's under it, glove up, makes the catch, and there are 2 down. And now the shortstop, Fred Pacheck. Dick Tidrow has done an excellent job through the early innings of this ball game, allowed only 2 base hits. He's walked a couple. The Yankees have turned over one double play. Heath has thrown out one man stealing. Pacheck, a right-hand batter, grounded out to second baseman Randolph his first time up. Pacheck stands deep in the batter's box, feet close together, heels almost touching. Now he strides, swings, and bounces a foul down the third base line. I had to like one comment Pacheck made to me on a pregame show recently, Phil, talking about his sitting in the dugout crying after the last game of the championship playoffs last year, and he said that he was really hurt, but he felt more for Cookie Rojas than he did himself.
That is a nice gesture.
He said Rojas, 17 years, never had been in a World Series, and they wanted to win the playoffs so much for him. Pitches down low. At least Pacheck felt that way.
Yeah.
He said Rojas had been such a great man as a player, a great friend of Pacheck's, taught him a lot about infield play. 1 ball, 1 strike count with 2 outs. Tidrow winds, and the pitch is hit in the air to deep left field, but Thomason will be there. He's under it, and he's got it. That retires the side in order. We've completed 5. It's the Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
The day is done. Coming home. It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. Welcome home. So just say bud. And pour the king of beers and settle back and please yourself. 'Cause when you say Budweiser, you said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Down, 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 down. Under your hood, if it's running good, there's a motor in the place where the motor goes. And in the motor there's 4, 6, or 8 little holes where something that's called a spark plug goes. And that's what makes the motor run good under the hood. If the plugs you use are champions. 'Cause champions do what you want them to do. When you turn on the key, they're waiting on you. So if you've got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, can't buy a better plug than Champions. We got a plug for any kind of car. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are. So if you got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, you can't buy a better plug than Champions. Now. 'Cause Champions do what you want them to do. Give you better mileage and performance too. So if you've got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, you can't buy a better plug than Champions. You can't buy a better plug than Champions. Now.
75 degrees and cloudy at 9:29 WINS 1010 New York. Our top stories: Billy Martin is out as manager of the Yankees. Bob Lemon, former manager of the Chicago White Sox, will replace him. The Executive Council of the New York Metro Area Postal Union has authorized a strike vote by its 26,000 members. A New York Times reporter Myron Farber is jailed for refusing to turn over to the court his investigative notes on the Dr. X case.
Willie Randolph will lead off the Yankees' 6th, to be followed by Thurman Munson and Chris Chambliss. Randolph has flied to center and bunted for a base hit. He was up when Rivers was thrown out stealing to end the 5th. Halftime call for a moment as something has fallen on the field. Big beach ball, looks like, down in right field. Just learned something interesting I want to get Phil Rizzuto to talk about in a minute. I didn't realize with all the tumult over Pete Rose going to break Tommy Holmes' record that Tommy Holmes and Phil Rizzuto were once teammates.
Yep.
First pitch to Randolph is down in the dirt, ball 1.
Right here, Frank, with the old Kansas City Blues.
Send him again. Tommy Holmes was a Yankee player.
Yes, he came up through the Yankee chain. Couldn't make the club here. They sent him to Newark.
Curveball is lined to center. Otis may have it, though, and it hangs up long enough for him to get to it. There's a break in the action with a score. The Yankees 2, the Royals nothing.
This is Mel Allen. You know, they say nobody can carry Willie Randolph's glove. Well, Emery's flight pack can probably carry his glove and Nettles' glove and Paul Blair's, too. And that's because, unlike a lot of other small package services, the Emery flight pack takes up to 5 pounds. Emery, the Air Force and Air Freight.
The break in the action was Thurman Munson getting ready to hit up there at the plate. Now Thurman's ready. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Leonard's pitch to him high for a ball. What about you and Tommy Holmes right here in Kansas City? Huh?
Yep. And Tommy and I, and Jerry Pretty and Charlie Stansu all roomed together. Those days you didn't get much money even in AAA ball.
1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. One ball, one strike with one out. Munson is grounded out and struck out. Leonard's deal is hit on the ground at second base. Frank White is up with it and throws to first in time. We'll pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
75 degrees and cloudy at 9:33 WINS 1010 New York.
Chris Chambliss, the batter. I believe Tommy Holmes said, Phil, that he got more publicity out of Pete Rose approaching his record than he did in setting the record himself.
That's absolutely true. He's been besieged with television interviews, radio.
Pitch to Chambliss is down low for a ball. Chris has struck out and grounded out to the shortstop. There's a swing and a foul. That'll be out of play on the left side. Incidentally, speaking of Tommy Holmes, he is going to be a guest of Mel Allen on the Between Games broadcast here on many of these Yankee Network stations Sunday afternoon between games of our doubleheader with the Minnesota Twins.
All right.
1-1 pitch is coming, and Chambliss takes a strike. It's 1-2. That should be interesting to listen to, whether or not Rose breaks the record.
Right.
1-2 pitch to Chris. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dennis Leonard, in quest of his 12th win, down by 2 runs in the ball game. The Yankees scored their 2 runs in the second. Right-hander winds, 2-2 pitch. Cut on and bounce right side and knocked down by Lecoq. Picks it up and throws to the pitcher in time. Lecoq knocked the ball down. Had a little trouble getting the handle, but flipped it over to Leonard, and Chambliss is out. At the end of 5.5, it's the Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
Gotta bale and haul some hay.
Gotta share a ride today.
Gotta drop the children off. But first I gotta stop at golf.
People, all kinds of people, more than a million a day. Keep their lives moving on by making a stop along the way. And golf, the stop that keeps America going.
Every day, over 1 million people stop at Gulf. Our new self-serve stations are a good reason. No waiting at the pump, simple to use, and best of all, a way for you to save on every gallon. Dependable products are another reason people stop at Gulf. Gasolines and motor oils of consistent high quality, formulated by Gulf for top efficiency to help your engine last. Got somewhere to go? Remember, conserving gasoline is important, so use it wisely, and when it's time, stop at Gulf.
Golf, the stop that keeps America going.
It's not one thing, it's another. Now it's a transmission. I hate you. Hate. Deep hatred.
Before you completely give up on your car, come to AMCO Transmissions. Last year, we reunited more owners with their cars than any other transmission specialist. And we got 1 out of 3 of them going again with only minor repairs. At AMCO, we'll put you and your car back together again.
I take back everything I said about you.
In the bottom half of the 6th inning, it'll be Frank White, George Brett, and Hal Mcrae coming on for the Kansas City Royals. Facing right-hander Dick Tidrow. This is Tidrow's 15th start of the year. He last pitched a week ago Sunday in relief. He went 4 2/3 innings in a 3-1 Yankee loss to the Royals. Allowed just 1 hit and struck out 2 in that ball game. So far tonight, Tidrow has allowed 2 hits. He has walked 2, and he has struck out nobody. 1 hit, an infield single by Pete Lecoq. First pitch to Frank White, who has the other hit. A curve on the inside corner, strike one. White, a .281 hitter, 3 homers, 30 runs batted in. Tidrow's next pitch misses outside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Yankees and the Royals meet again tomorrow night. We'll have the game at 8:30 here on the Yankee Radio Network. Pre-game show at 8:15 New York time. A couple of classy left-handers are scheduled. Ron Guidry will pitch for the Yankees. Paul Splitoff for the Royals. The 1-1 pitch from Tidrow. Hit in the air to left field. Coming on Thomason. He's there. He's got it.
Boy, that Thomason gets some jump. Quick scores, Frank. Told you Minnesota beat the Red Sox 5-4 in the first game. Minnesota leads 1-0 at the end of 3 of the second. Seattle over Toronto 1-0 in the first game. Second game, Seattle 3, Toronto 2 at the end of 5. At the end of 8 innings, it's California 2 and Cleveland 2. At the end of 3.5, Baltimore 3, Texas 0. At the end of 3, White Sox 1, Milwaukee 0. And at the end of 4.5, it's Detroit 2 and Oakland 1. In the National League, Mets 2, Cincinnati 1, end of 5. Pete Rose 0 for 3 in that ball game. Atlanta 5, Philadelphia 1 at the end of 7. Montreal 4, Houston 0, end of 2.5. Chicago at Los Angeles later on. All right, Frank.
George Brett, the batter. Brett is grounded out to Chambliss and flied out to left field. It's this one hop. Past Nettles out into left field, base hit. Boy, Brett is very adept at slapping that ball to the left side.
I tell you, Frank, that's the difference in the artificial turf and the natural dirt and grass. Nettles would have eaten that one up. But as we mentioned, the ball hits and actually skips and goes faster after it takes that first bounce. Just a little slow getting the glove down.
That is base hit number 3 for the Royals. Brett is on with 1 away, and Hal Mcrae, the batter. Mcrae is lined to right and popped to the catcher. Hits this one back up the middle. Base hit on through into center field. Brett stops at second base as Rivers gets the ball back in quickly. So back-to-back singles. And the Royals have the tying runs on base. Pete Lecoq is the batter. Activity will begin in the Yankee bullpen. He's throwing around out there. Sparky Lyle grabs his glove. And Art Fowler, the Yankee pitching coach, is on his way out to the mound. Fowler goes out to talk to Tidrow and Heath and Fred Stanley. The shortstop is also called in. Willie Randolph started in, but he is called away by second base umpire Barnett, as you're allowed only 1 infielder at that conference. Right now, there's a break in the action with the score: the Yankees 2 and the Royals 0.
This is Mel Allen. Thanks to Emery's computer tracking system, no matter where in the world your package is, you can always pick up a phone, call Emery, and touch base with him. Emery, the Air Force in air freight.
4 innings scored out Minnesota. They've completed 4. The Twins lead the Red Sox 2-0. Minnesota won the first game 5-4. Minnesota leads 2-0 at the end of 4. Pete Lecoq, the batter, with 2 men on, 1 out. Tidrow comes set on his pitch. Hit in the air to deep right center field. Mickey Rivers is over. Munson is there. Rivers, and they collide. The ball is held by Munson. Munson holds it after colliding with Rivers. That tagged up at second base, went on to third. The Yankees won the appeal there as Stanley calls for the ball. Stanley standing on second, call for the ball. The appeal is not allowed as Brett moved on to third base. Stanley protesting. He left before the ball was caught. I'll tell you, that was a dangerous play out there as Munson went a little bit too far.
A lot too far. And I tell you, I had my heart in my throat because I remember right here in the same ballpark, the ball that Amos Otis hit where Jackson and Blair collided and cost the Yankees a big ball game. Munson absolutely went too far. He's got to remember that Rivers very fast can get anything hit in right center or left center.
Credit the catch to Munson. He held the ball despite the collision with Mickey Rivers. Both of them are all right. After the catch, Brett tagged and went to third. There are 2 outs, runners first and third, and the batter is Amos Otis. Otis has flied to right and walked. The Yankees made the appeal play at second. but it was not allowed. Instead, Brett did not leave before the catch. Now Tidrow stretches. Comes set and the pitch. Strike, one call, knee high. The Yankees lead 2-0. Very, very big ball game for the Yankees, not only for the standings, but for the purposes of continuing their momentum, team morale, etc. Tidrow checks the base runner at first. And the pitch inside a ball. It's 1-1. Brett at third, Mcrae at first. This is the first time in the ball game the Royals have had a runner as far as third base. Lecoq got to second in the fourth after he singled and Otis walked. Well, now runners first and third. The Yankees lead 2-0. Tidrow takes the sign from the rookie catcher Mike Heath. 1-1 pitch. Taken a bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Otis steps out for a couple of practice swings. The on-deck hitter is Darrell Porter. George Brett leads away at third. Mcrae leads at first. And now Otis steps out. Time is called. Sparky Lyle is throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Tidrow plants the right foot again. Has the sign. Starts the stretch. And the 2-1 pitch. Over but low. Ball 3. It's 3-1. Tidrow tried to pitch very, very carefully to Amos Otis. Has fallen behind now. 3 balls, 1 strike. Wants it out in right field. Shades him over toward the foul line. Rivers a few steps toward the gap in right center. Thomason. A lot of ground to cover on the left side of the outfield. 3-1 pitch. Cut on and bounce slowly toward third. It is a foul ball as Nettles gets to it. Good thing that was foul because Otis would have had it beat at first base and a run would have scored. Otis walks back slowly. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Mcrae will be breaking off first with 2 outs. Mike Heath holding 2 fingers up in the air, signaling to 1-0. There are 2 away. Get out wherever you can. Fans get right in the ball game now. And a good crowd, of course, on hand here at Kansas City, as there always is when the Yankees are in town. Chambliss is backed off from the base runner Mcrae now with a 3-2 count and 2 outs. Mcrae will be moving as Tidrow drops the hands. There goes Mcrae. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Tidrow strikes out Otis to retire the side. That's Tidrow's first strikeout. End of 6. The Yankees 2, the Royals nothing.
This portion of New York's finest baseball is brought to you by Specs, New York's finest athletic shoes. You know, when it comes to athletic shoes, Specs are a sure thing to take the Triple Crown again this year. Best performance, styling, and durability. Whether you're into basketball, tennis, running, or just hanging around looking good, you should be into Specs. Catch up with the Specs athletic shoes at over 600 fine stores in and around New York City. When you step into your Specs, you're ready to step out.
The day is done. Coming home. It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. Welcome home. So just say bud. Say bud. And pour the king of beers and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of bud is like an easy chair when you say Budweiser. Hey, let me tell you something. Settling back with a long day behind you and a cold bud in front of you, my man, that's living. When you say Budweiser, you Anheuser-Busch St. Louis.
We've completed 6 innings here in Kansas City. The Yankees 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Royals no runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Dennis Leonard has walked 1 and struck out 3. Dick Tidrow has walked 2 and struck out 1. And we're ready to go to the 7th inning and ready again with a play-by-play. Here's Phil Rizzuto.
All right, Frank Messer, and that big left-hander we were talking about, Andy Hassler, is pitching for the Red Sox in the 5th inning with Minnesota leading 2-0 at the end of 4.5. Minnesota won that first ball game 5-4. For the Yankees, Greg Nettles, who walked and scored in the 2nd inning, single to center in the 4th, will be the batter. Dennis Leonard out on the mound. And there is the overshift again on Nettles. And Leonard swings into the windup. First pitch is a curve, and it's outside, ball 1. Otis well over in right center. Even Poquette shading him in left center. Hertl deep in right. Infield really deep on the right side. As a foul off his foot down the first base line. That same kind of a play that Jim Rice injured his foot, although he supposedly was not going to be able to play for about a week. But he was in the first game, went 1 for 5. It'll be Nettles, Thomason, and White. Here in the top of the 7th, the Yankees leading 2-0. They scored both those runs in the 2nd inning, when they combined a walk, 2 singles, and a slow ground ball by Mike Heath for 2 runs. The 1-1 pitch lined up the alley in left center. That's going to be extra base. Oh, wait a minute. Poquette cuts it off, but Nettles going to try for 2. The throw, and he is safe at second. Now he's out. He overslid the bag. Nettles was safe. His momentum carried him past the bag, and he's called out. Great play on both ends there, Fran Healy.
Yes, it was, Phil. Of course, Poquette has a great arm, one of the better arms for the Royals in the outfield. Broke to his left to cut off that ball. A great ballpark for the extra base, the double and the triple. As soon as you get that line drive over the shortstop's head or the second baseman's head, it's almost always at least a double.
We had mentioned the fact that Poquette had moved slightly to left center, and Nettles hit the ball right in the gap. But with that good speed in the Kansas City outfield, he cut it off. Nettles was safe, but slid past the bag. Gary Thomason tries to bunt, misses, strike 1. Thomason thought he had pulled the bat back, but he did not. Thomason singled and scored in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th inning. One out, nobody on here in the top of the 7th. Thomason batting .240. And now Leonard takes a little too much time. Thomason gets time at the plate. He's back in. Leonard swings into the windup. Curve is in there. Strike 2 call. That was a big overhand curveball that time. Nothing in 2 the count. The kick and another curve, swing and a miss. You know, Fran Healy, Leonard started off the game throwing fastballs, was hit fairly hard, but now he's throwing that breaking pitch and giving the Yankee hitters troubles.
He certainly is. And now 20 seconds for our local stations to identify themselves.
It's 78 degrees and cloudy, WINS 1010 New York.
Roy White drives one past first, trying for 2. The throw, he's in safely. On the first pitch, Roy hit one between Lecoq and first base. And again, quick fielding by Hertl made that a much closer play than I thought it was going to be, Fran.
Yes, it was, Phil. They know how to play the lines over here. Hertl broke to his left, picked up the ball. Close play at second base. You mentioned Leonard's curveball earlier. When he first got to the major leagues, he relied a great deal on a fastball. He came up with the breaking ball, and of course, much more effective with the breaking ball, and it's a sharper breaking ball.
All right, Mike Heath now is 0 for 2. He has a 13-game hitting streak, has driven in a run, and he's hit with a pitch. And Mike Heath runs down to first, doesn't even rub. And that's got to make a pitcher mad. He throws his good fastball, hits a batter, and he doesn't even rub. He certainly was not trying to hit Heath that time, trying to jam him. So Heath at first, White at second, and the batter Fred Stanley. And Fred is overdue for a base hit. In this game, he has bounced to short, fly to center. 2 men out, 2 men on, 2-0. The Yankees lead in the top of the 7th. Outfield moves in now in left, center, and right. The kick and the pitch to Stanley foul just below a strike one. Absolutely beautiful night here in Mid-America. They're getting the heat back home now. It's cooled off in Texas, Fran, here in Kansas City, too. It's even hot in Holyoke. All right, the stretch. And the pitch is hit down the right field line. Hertl, playing shallow, is there and makes the running catch. So he was positioned perfectly for the Yankees. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 6.5, the Yankees 2, the Royals nothing.
Here's a message of special interest to New Jersey residents from Household Finance.
People use our money to get the most out of life.
Getting away for a great vacation? You'd love to. Remodeling or adding a new family room? You think about it a lot. And of course, having money for your children's education is important. Well, if you're a homeowner, you could have those things with a homeowner loan from HFC. Depending on the equity in your home, the difference between what you owe on it and what it's worth today, you could get the money for almost anything you need or want. The homeowner loan from Household Finance, an equal opportunity lender.
Come on into HFC.
In New Jersey, secondary mortgage loans are available from $2,500 to $25,000. See your phone book for the HFC office nearest you.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find our name is known. You can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery.
The Delco Freedom Battery is truly maintenance-free. It never needs water, so the power is sealed in. Get freedom. You'll say, thanks, Delco.
You're welcome.
They've got the stuff when the start is tough. You can trust a Delco. Thanks, Delco. Delco Freedom Battery. Delco, thanks, Delco.
Okay, Pete Rose has tied Tommy Holmes' consecutive game hitting streak in the National League at 37. He got a single in the 7th inning in Shea Stadium off Pat Zachary.
Boy, that's unbelievable.
What was your longest, Phil?
21.
21. Mine was 4.
Oh, very funny, very funny. I tell you, hitting streaks are getting very popular right now. We mentioned earlier in the game, Jack Clark with the San Francisco Giants has hit in 25 consecutive games. He has broken a long-standing record for consecutive games hitting that the Giants had. And so we'll be hearing about him as he nears the 30 mark.
I'm sure that the lineup, the batting order is important in a hitting streak, and
so is the artificial turf. All right, Darrell Porter will lead off. He has walked and flied to center.
Where did you bat in the lineup, Phil?
First. All right, Dick Tidrow kicks and delivers. It's low and outside, ball 1. Porter batting .281, 8 homers, 44 runs batted in. Rivers well over in right center for the left-hand hitter, and the pitch is outside, 2-0. On deck, Clint Hertl. Sparky Lyle not too far away from that bullpen mound. He's been up twice so far in the ball game. Tidrow's pitch is a little bit low. Ball 3, 3-0. All right, the big right-hander ready. His 3-0 pitch way inside, ball 4. And that should bring action out in the Yankee bullpen. Nobody moving as yet. That's the 3rd walk given up by Tidrow. Clint Hertl, the batter, hit into a double play, bounce to second.
Phil, Tidrow has been pitching a very good ball game all night. Keeps the sinker down, and it's a very difficult ballpark for a sinker ball pitcher to be effective in.
You're absolutely right. I remember when Lindy McDaniel came over here, he had problems. All right, the pitch to Hertl is down low, ball one. Hertl, a left-hand batter, slightly open stance. Tidrow comes down to the belt. The kick and the pitch is lined to center field. Rivers coming on, though, and that ball hung up there. That was hit on the nose. Fortunately for the Yankees, it stayed up in the air. Rivers made the catch, one away.
Of course, Phil, that's a sign that Tidrow is getting the ball up because the ball was hit so hard. Usually that sinker ball pitcher will keep the ball down. It's a tough ball to drive as the pitch down. The ball up, that's the ball the hitter likes to hammer.
All right, friend. Tom Poquette will be the batter. Poquette has bounced a short fly to center. Porter still at first. Yankees leading 2-0 in the bottom of the seventh. On deck, Freddie Pacheck. Tidrow checks the runner at first. Delivers to the plate low and inside, ball one.
And there's a break in the action. Stay 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
75 degrees and cloudy at 9:58 WINS 1010 New York.
All right, the next pitch is hit in the air to right field. Munson is right there. Hardly has to move, makes the catch. 2 men out, runner still at first, and now Pacheck, who has bounced to second, fly to left.
The shortstop, Fred Pacheck.
Nettles comes over to have a little chat with Tidrow. Stanley flips the ball with a big right-hander. See the outfield alignment on Pacheck. Thomason not too deep in left and straight away. Rivers slightly shaded towards right center field. Munson shallow in right and straight away. And the pitch to Pacheck, down low, ball one. Frank White on deck. Nettles guarding the line at third. Stanley deep at short. The next pitch, down low, 2-0, right over the heart of the plate, but dipped below the knees. Tidrow asking, where was it? The Yankee bench getting on Durwood Merrill a little bit. And Durwood looking over there.
Phil, it's always important right now on that low ball for the catcher to remind the home plate umpire that that's Tidrow's bread and butter pitch.
All right, the 2-0 delivery. There's the strike, 2-1. Porter at first, 2 men out. Pacheck steps back. Tidrow gets the sign from Heath. Checks Porter at first base. Delivers to the plate, and it's just outside, 3-1. Tidrow goes to the rosin bag. 2 men out here in the bottom of the seventh. Stretch by Tidrow. The 3-1 delivery is strike 2. Pacheck trying to work his way on. Had the take sign that time. Full count, so Porter will be running with the pitch. And Tidrow's job, get that ball in the strike zone. Let Pacheck hit his way on, not walk his way on. Here's the big payoff pitch. The runner goes, and it's swing and a foul back on the screen. They'll have to do it all over again. That was a pretty good pitch by Tidrow, Fran, right in on the hands.
Yes, it was, Phil. Of course, it's difficult when you have the full count to throw to a particular position at home plate. It's best for a guy like Tidrow to try to throw the strike, and if by chance it gets inside, it's a great pitch for the pitcher.
You give that target right over the heart of the plate in a situation like that?
You really have to, especially with Tidrow pitching. The lower, the better.
All right. Let's see what he does. The pitch, and a base hit to left field. He jammed him in on the hands, but Pacheck hit it hard enough and high enough to get over the infield. Runners at first and second, 2 out, and now they're stirring around in the Yankee bullpen. That's only the 5th hit off Tidrow in the ball game. And Frank White is being called back. And Eagle Eye, who's that coming up?
Steve Braun, left-handed swinger, will face, of course, the right-handed throwing Dick Tidrow. Dick Howser, interim manager for the New York Yankees tonight, jogs out to the mound to talk to Tidrow and Mike Heath about Steve Braun. Of course, Braun, a dead fastball hitter, likes the fastball, whether it's in or out on home plate. Braun has talked about Charlie Lau helping him change his style. Now he hits the ball to left field. There's a break in the action with the score. The Yankees 2, the Royals nothing.
This is Mel Allen. If you think a Reggie Jackson home run travels far, Emery travels over 250,000 miles a day because they're on every key flight of every airline that carries freight with a fleet of charter planes waiting in the wings. And that's what makes Emery the Air Force in air freight.
Sparky Lyle is throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Lyle warmed up earlier in the game. Phil?
All right, Steve Braun hitting .237 on the year, left-hand batter. Stands deep in the box, runners at first and second. Tidrow to the belt. His pitch, a little bit low, ball one. George Brett is the on-deck batter, and I'll tell you one thing, if Tidrow does not get Braun out, that will be all for him. The pitch is low, ball 2-0. Again, Tidrow is getting the ball over the plate, but Merrill says they're all low.
Right, it looks like Tidrow's concerned because, again, that's his bread and butter pitch, and he has to have that pitch to win a ball game.
All right, 2-0 the count. He checks the runners. Delivers to the plate, foul, and again, he was trying to shoot to left field that time.
Phil, it's unusual to watch Braun now. When he played in Minnesota, he'd get on top of the plate, take a good rip at the ball, and try to pull that fastball. Right now, he's trying to hit the ball the other way most of the time and takes his arm off the bat, and of course, that's Charlie Lau's philosophy.
All right, 2 balls and a strike, 2 out, 2 on. The pitch, line of right field, but Munson is right there, and Thurman drops the ball and steps on it. Pacheck's going to try to score, and he will, and it's a tie ball game. And that's the ball Munson should have had. He had his glove on it, he dropped it, he stepped on it, and by the time he recovered, Pacheck scored all the way from first base, and the ball game is tied up 2-2. And we'll have to wait and see what they give him. It should be an error. Munson did have a good run, but he had the ball in his glove. And that's going to be all for Dick Tidrow. They give him a hit on that, a double. Well, Sid Boardman is not scoring tonight. Sid had put down an error. We had an error. And Braun is leaving the game for a pinch runner.
Jerry Terrell, Phil, is going in to run for Steve Braun. Sparky Lyle will come on in relief of Dick Tidrow, and he'll face George Brett. Right now, Dick Howser, Mike Heath, and Dick Tidrow on the mound. Tidrow starts to walk towards the dugout. Tidrow pitched a fine ball game, allowing 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. And as Lyle makes his way to the mound, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Final score, the first game of 2, Minnesota 5, Boston 4. The second game, Minnesota 2, Boston nothing after 4.5. Starting pitcher Mike Therese was ejected from the game in the first inning in the second game for complaining about a balk. Final score in the first game of 2, Seattle 1, Toronto nothing. In the second game, it's Seattle 3, Toronto 2 after 7. California and Cleveland tied 2 apiece. They're in extra innings. They're now in the 11th. Baltimore 4, Texas nothing after 4.5. And as Phil mentioned, Brad Corbett, the owner of the Texas Rangers, kicking down a door.
Yes.
In the Texas clubhouse to talk to the players. I'm sure he was trying to get a point across. Chicago 1, Milwaukee nothing. Milwaukee in second place in the Eastern Division of the American League. That's after 4.5 innings. Sorensen 12-6 against Stone for Chicago, who's 7-7. Detroit 2, Oakland 1 after 5.5. Staub is at a home run in the first inning with 1 man on. in the National League. Tie ball game, the Mets and the Reds, 2 apiece. Of course, the big story there, Pete Rose tied Tommy Holmes' consecutive game hitting streak. He's tied now for the record at 37 in the National League, and that game is in the 7th inning. Atlanta 5, Philadelphia 1 after 8. Montreal scored 4 runs in the top of the 3rd. They now lead the Astros 4-0 after 2.5. Chicago at Los Angeles, no score. That'll be a later start. Right here in Kansas City, ball game is tied up, 2 apiece. George Brett steps in to face Sparky Lyle. The Royals have pinch runner Jerry Terrell on second base. Phil?
All right, friend. So Lyle will come on. George Brett has bounced to first, flying to left, single to left field. And Sparky relying on that good slider to Brett, who's a tough battler. The pitch to Brett. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Just did foul tip it. Got a little piece of it.
Phil, if any left-hander would feel comfortable off of Sparky, it would be Brett because of his ability to hit the ball the other way.
Right. Sparky to the belt. The kick. The pitch down low. It's 1-1. So Dick Tidrow pitched an excellent ball game. Thurman Munson just had the ball, and it fell out of his glove. The 1-1 pitch is a base hit to left field. Thomason coming in quickly. He's got a good arm. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Throw to second. He's safe. And the Royals lead 3-2. So Brett got a low slider, hit it in the hole between third and short. Thomason had trouble getting the ball out of his glove. And the Royals go out in front. Their 3rd run here in the bottom of the 7th, and they lead 3-2. Brett goes to second on the throw to the plate. That'll bring up Hal Mcrae, line to right, foul to the catcher, single to center. They're going to put him on an intentional walk.
Phil, I believe Kansas City will pinch hit John Wattham, who is now running in from the Kansas City bullpen for the left-handed swinging Pete Lecoq, who is scheduled next.
All right. That's ball 3. So the Yankees, who are leading all the way to the bottom of the 7th, now trail by a run, and that's ball 4. And Lecoq is walking back. Lecoq was 1 for 3 while he was in the ball game. Watson is batting .287 with 5 doubles, a homer, and 14 runs batted in.
As we wait for Wattham, Phil, let's remind the fans that this weekend the Minnesota Twins and Rod Carew will make their last visit of the season to the stadium. See the Yankees battle the Twins Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and which is Old Timers Day, and in a doubleheader next Sunday afternoon. The twin bill includes the makeup of an earlier rainout. And of course, Saturday, as I mentioned, is Old Timers Day. Coming back to celebrate the Yankees' record 5 straight world championships of a quarter of a century ago are almost 30 Yankee greats plus some 25 opponents, including Hall of Famers Feller, Lopez, Irvin, and Eddie Matthews. Now John Wattham, right-handed swinging catcher, first baseman, outfielder, steps in to face left-hander Sparky Lyle. Phil?
All right, friend. So 3 big runs in. Tidrow could have been out of the inning without a run being scored. But that's the game of baseball, game of inches. Watson. The pitch is on the inside corner, strike 1 called. He's 6'2", 205 pounds. Brett at second, Mcrae over at first. Line drive, base hit, left center field. That'll be another run. And it's going to be a double to left center field. Brett scores, and the Royals now lead 4-2. An RBI for Watson. So the pinch hitters have come through for the Royals here. Steve Braun with a double and 2 RBIs, and Wathan with a double and a 1 RBI. Three of the runs charged to Dick Tidrow, 1 run to Sparky Lyle. And now Amos Otis, the 9th Royal at bat here in the bottom of the 7th. His fly to right walked and struck out. They're going to put Otis on. They're going to give Otis an intentional walk. And the on-deck batter will be Darrell Porter, left-hand hitting catcher. Well, the Royals have been rough.
Of course, right now, Phil, they have to go with percentages. Left-hander Sparky Lyle will pitch to left-hander swinging Darrell Porter, even though Porter is called the Yankee killer. Of course, Porter a good fastball hitter, and Sparky Lyle features that slider. So I have to give Sparky Lyle the edge.
All right, Porter swinging the weighted bat while he gets ready to come up. He has walked twice, fly to center, and has scored once. So Wathan down at second, Otis at first. 2 men out, 4 big runs in for the Royals here in the bottom of the 7th. They lead it 4-2. Porter now against left-hand pitches got a wide open stance. And the first pitch down low. I forgot over at third base is Hal Mcrae. They got the bases loaded here. Deep to right field. And just foul. Holy cow, that just missed hitting the foul pole for a grand slam home run. Sparky got the slider a little bit too far inside, and Porter jumped on it and drilled it just foul. That would have been a grand slammer and would have been a crushing blow. But a long strike, and the count is 1-1. Royals have won 9 in a row. Mcrae at third, Wathan at second, Otis at first. Sparky winds, and the pitch breaks over the plate, strike 2. Clint Hertl on deck. Sparky's next pitch is hit high in the air to left center, Rivers, and Thomason makes the call and the catch. But the Royals pick up 4 runs on 4 hits. No Yankee errors, 3 men left. At the end of 7, the Royals 4 and the Yankees 2.
The day is done. Coming home. It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. Welcome home. So just say, bud. Say bud. When you've been moving fast all day, you know there's nothing like slowing down the pace and relaxing with a Budweiser. 'Cause when you say Budweiser, you said it all. Anheuser-Busch sang through it.
If you drive along the highway or make tracks across the snow, even biking across the country, Champion is the way to go. If you soar across the skyway or go cruising out to sea, if you're into racing go-karts, Champion is the plug you need. You can't buy a better plug, can't rely on a better plug. For any engine, big or small, Champion sparks them all.
Champion sparks the winners, too. When your motorcycle needs new spark plugs, choose Champion plugs. Last year, bikes equipped with Champion spark plugs won 14 of the 16 U.S. and World Motorcycle Racing Championships. That's why racers around the world rely on Champions. You know.
Buy a better plug, can't rely on better plug. For any engine, big or small, Champion sparks them all. For any engine, big or small, Champion sparks them all.
John Watson stays in at first base. Jerry Terrell will stay in to replace Frank White at second base, and Willie Wilson goes to left field to replace Tom Poquette. Phil?
All right, Fran, the Yankees, the one break they do have, they're trailing 4-2, but they got the top of the order coming up against Dennis Leonard. And out in the bullpen now, I don't know whether that's the mad Hungarian or not. Getting up to loosen up.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep, as soon as you see him wind up, you can tell. All right, Mickey Rivers has flied to center, flied to left, and single to center field. So the Yankees, who scored their 2 runs in the second inning, been shut out ever since. Got to get back in this ball game. But they have Rivers, Randolph, and Munson to face Leonard. And Leonard's first pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. Brett is in at third. Leonard has spaced 7 hits. The right-hander winds. And the pitch, swing and a miss, and that ball was way out of the strike zone. 0-2 on Mickey. A high fastball, high and away. Mick swung hard at both those pitches. The 2-strike pitch struck him out on 3 pitches. And I believe only 1 was in the strike zone. 4th strikeout for Dennis Leonard. It'll bring up Willie Randolph. Willie fly to center, beat out a bunt for a base hit, and fly to center again. Leonard's pitch is a slider, hits the outside corner, strike one call.
Phil, it seems that Leonard throwing many more breaking balls than usual.
Yes, he is. Another breaking ball, strike 2. Willie Randolph was ducking out of the way of that one. And it really broke. Slider on the first one, curve on the second. He winds again. And a slider just a little bit low. Tough pitch, but Willie held up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Munson on deck. Leonard winds, and the pitch is hit in the air to center field, but Otis is right there. And 1 hands it, 2 men are out. That'll bring up Thurman Munson. Thurman 0 for 3 tonight, has bounced to short, struck out, and bounced to second. Well, the Twins still leading the Red Sox in that second game 2-0. Red Sox batting in the top of the 6th. Minnesota won the first game 5-4. Low and outside to Munson. Ball 1. Leonard gets the sign. And the pitch, he jammed him and he fouled it back into the seats. 1-1. Oh, Dennis Leonard gave up those 2 runs in the second inning, but since then he has pitched himself quite a ball game. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. Yankees trail by 2 here in the top of the 8th. And the pitch, swing and a foul back to the screen. A ball and 2 strikes. Seems to be throwing the ball at least as hard, maybe harder than he was in the early part of the game.
Yes, he does, Phil. And, of course, getting that breaking ball over helps a great deal. He's relying mostly on the breaking ball. He's only walked one batter.
That's right. Nettles in the second inning. He's been ahead on every other hitter, and he's ahead on Munson. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swings into the windup. Look out. Oh, man, was that high and tight. All the way back to the screen. Leonard has hit one man in this ball game, Mike Heath.
So usually now a catcher will call that breaking ball, especially the way Leonard's been getting the breaking ball over. Of course, Munson, a smart hitter, might wait for the breaking ball, so this could be a good time to go up and in with that fastball and try to throw it for a strike.
All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch, breaking pitch, struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 5 for the night, 3 up, 3 down at the end of 7.5. Royals 4 and the Yankees 2.
Listening to the game just isn't the same as being there. The special magic a hot summer's day and an even hotter Yankee Stadium crowd give to the game, well, it's just missing. So do something about it. Grab a Yankees Frank. Because Yankees Franks have the taste that takes you out to the ball game, even when you're listening at home. Bite into one. Feel like cheering? Go ahead. The crowd won't mind. Yankees Franks. Colonial makes it.
You and your 78 Plymouth Arrow. It's a lot more than just fun.
Wherever we go, everyone knows it's me and my Arrow.
It's standard tinted glass, tilt wheel, and reclining buckets. It's a wide hatch and fold-down rear seat. And then, of course, it is fun.
Me and my Arrow.
It's not just a car you can handle. It's a gasoline bill you can handle, too. Because for 78, every Arrow features air injection in our new MCA jet system.
Me and my Arrow.
And while your mileage may differ, an Arrow with our standard 1600cc engine and manual transmission is EPA rated at 39 highway, 29 city. The 78 Arrow. Miles and miles of heart.
The New York Yankee farm notes, Tacoma lost to Portland last night, 5-4, but Jerry Narron hit his 11th home run of the year. Tacoma's now 1.5 out of first place in the Pacific Coast League. West Haven lost to Jersey City, 8-4. They're in first place by 4.5 games in the Eastern League. Joe LaFay had 2 hits, a single and a triple. Phil?
All right, Clint Hertl takes the strike from Sparky Lyle.
Fort Lauderdale beat Tampa 2-1. They're in second place, 1.5 out of first.
The next pitch, ground ball in the hole, base hit right field. Clint Hertl gets his first hit of the night. And that's the 3rd hit off Sparky Lyle, the 9th in the ball game for the Royals. And it'll bring up Willie Wilson. And Willie will be batting right-handed. He looks so much better as a right-hand batter, Fran, than he does as a left-hand hitter.
Yes, he does, Phil. He's a natural right-handed swinger. The reason the Royals switched him over to the left side is to utilize his speed. They felt if he could put the ball in play, he could beat the throw to first.
All right, he squares to bunt and misses. Strike 1. Good slider down and in by Sparky Lyle. Willie Wilson, as a right-hand batter, is hitting .267. Overall hitting .234. He has not played that much, and yet he has 32 stolen bases, been caught only 8 times. Willie looking for his first home run in the big leagues. He has 8 doubles, 2 triples, 10 RBIs. And Willie squares and bunts foul. It's 0-2.
Phil Wilson was the first draft pick of the Royals a few years back, and the Yankees' first draft pick having a fine season in Oneonta. Rex Hudler. He had a single and a double yesterday as Oneonta beat Auburn 8-4. And right now, Oneonta is in second place, a half game behind the league leaders.
All right, all the Yankee farm teams right in there battling. They're either at the top or near the top. 0-2 on Willie Wilson. Clint Hertl at first, and the Royals in front 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Stretch by Lyle. And the pitch to Wilson, high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now let's take 5 seconds for station identification on New York Yankee Radio Network.
73 degrees and cloudy at 1026 WINS 1010 New York.
Next pitch low and outside, evens the count at 2-2. Willie Wilson had an outstanding career at Summit High. Lyle's 2-2 pitch, high and tight, 3-2. Tell me he was an outstanding catcher in high school. He was outstanding in everything he did. Baseball, basketball, football. Throw to first. Hertl is back. Full count on Willie Wilson. Lyle sets, kicks, the runner's going. The ball is bounced foul to the right of the plate. Hertl back to first base. Royals 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. The Yankees 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And if we look ahead to the Yankees in the 9th, they'll have Chambliss, Nettles, and Thomason. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Throw to first, and Hertl gets back. Clint Hertl, who is the American League Player of the Week. He's going. The ball is ball 4. He throws to second. They would have had a double play, but he thought it was a strike. He's got his hands on his hips, but the plate umpire, Durwood Merrill, called it a ball. Now Piniella and all the Yankees on the bench getting on Merrill. The third walk given up by Sparky Lyle, and now the Yankees have to look for the sacrifice. And Nettles, looking in at the Yankee bench, calls time, wants to go to Sparky and tell how they'll defense against this bunt attempt.
Chuck Hiller jogs in to talk to Fred Pacheck. Hiller, the third base coach for the Royals, right now verbally giving Freddie Pacheck the sign. Of course, Phil, in this ballpark, many times when you put on that play where the third baseman comes into shortstop, breaks over to third base, a manager will allow that batter to swing away, slap that ball to the hole, which the shortstop will vacate.
You can do that because this infield is so fast. All right, Chambliss in at first, Nettles in at third. Pacheck squares and bunts back to the pitcher. Should have. Sparky dropped the ball, picks it up, throws to first. They would have had him easily at third, but Sparky turned his head to look at the runner, dropped the bouncing ball. A break for the Royals, so Pacheck will get a sacrifice instead of a force out. And the Royals have runners at second and third. And Jerry Terrell will be the batter. The Yankees are going to pull the infield in. One man out. Hertl over at third. Willie Wilson at second. Terrell batting .190, only been up 58 times, 11 hits, 1 double, 2 runs batted in.
Now Mike Heath goes out to talk to Sparky Lyle. Sure they're going to discuss how to pitch to Terrell. George Brett on deck. I'm sure the Yankees do not want to pitch around Terrell to get to George Brett.
I bet they're also talking about the possible squeeze bunt.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Because Terrell likes the fastball.
All right, let's see what they've got cooked up. Stretch by Lyle. And the pitch, oh, that's deep enough to score 1. Gary Thomason digging deep to left center, makes the catch. Look at that Wilson tag up and go in. They better hurry that ball. He could possibly score from second on a long sacrifice fly. 1 run is in, though, and the Royals now lead 5-2. So Jerry Terrell hit it plenty deep enough to score Clint Hertl. Willie Wilson tagged up and easily went to third. And now the batter, George Brett, bounced to first, fly to left, single to left his next 2 times up. He has driven in a run and scored a run. Stretch by Lyle. And the pitch is over, strike one call. Royals 5, Yankees 2, bottom of the 8th. Pitch low and away, 1-1. Sparky to the belt. The pitch fouled back on the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hal Mcrae on deck. In the 7th inning, the Royals sent 10 men to the plate when they scored that 4 runs on 4 hits. Inside, evens the count at 2-2 with 2 men out. So that bobble ball by Sparky Lyle has proved costly for another run for the Royals. The 2-2 pitch fouled back to the screen. Willie Wilson taking a short lead off third in foul territory. Stretch by Sparky. And the pitch hit down the left field line. It's going to be trouble. And it's just foul. Just barely foul. 1 bounce into the seats down the left field line. Boy, you talk about a tough hitter. That Brett is one.
And of course, what makes him very tough is the way he can hit that outside pitch the opposite way. Hits that inside pitch down the right field line and hit that ball over the middle of the plate into center field. Of course, he can also hit that fastball in and fight it off into left field. And a great ballpark for George Brett. The ball will roll a great distance. He's not a power hitter. Although last season he hit over 20 home runs. This year he has 4.
Yeah, but he's got 33 doubles. I think that leads the American League.
Oh, I'm sure. Most of the time you get your double leader from a team
Hal Mcrae last year.
54.
Yeah. All right, it's still 2-2. The pitch, he tried to slap that by Nettles, bounced it foul right, almost hit one of the ABC cameramen alongside the Yankee dugout. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 men out, 1 run in. The Royals leading 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Lyle kicks, delivers, and it's high and tight, ball 3, 3-2. Payoff pitch by Sparky is fouled back on the screen. Tell you, the pitch outside, he just lays the bat on the ball and goes with it. Let's see how many times he struck out this year. Only 18 times in 326 at-bats, including tonight. Once again, a 3-2 delivery. Foul just got a piece of a good slider. Now, that was really a good one, down and away. If you can't get him on that one, you're not going to get him. Some guys make hitting look so easy. The pitch, line to center field. Rivers coming on, makes the catch. He hit that's the hottest ball he's hit all night, and they got him out. But the Royals pick up another run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left at the end of 8. Royals 5 and the Yankees 2.
Hey, Frank, let's talk about Reggie.
Well, Bill, the man's great. He hit 5 home runs and 1 World Series.
Frank?
He set 9 new records.
No, Frank.
Yes, he did, and he tied 4 others.
No, Frank, I meant let's talk about Reggie, the new candy hit. You've only got 44 of them in your pocket.
Oh, you mean this, Reggie? Well, they're great, too. I love that chewy caramel, those crunchy peanuts, that smooth chocolatey coating.
But, Frank, 44 of them?
Why not? If they're good enough to be named after Reggie Jackson, they're good enough for me.
Too good, Frank.
Where the roads unwind with travelers, with friends, with family, with people going places, seeing all there is to see. Where the ride is always sure and smooth, you'll find a trusted friend you've always known. It's Firestone. Firestone, Firestone, Firestone. Where the family car is moving, where a night truck fights the rain, where the race cars scream around the track, where the tractors farm the plain, wherever wheels are rolling, no
the score here in Kansas City, the Royals 5, the Yankees 2. Chambliss will face Dennis Leonard to lead off the top of the ninth. Of course, the Boston scored the first game of 2, Minnesota 5, Boston 4. In the second game, Carlton Fisk hit his 15th home run of the year in the 6th inning. With 2 men aboard, the score now Boston 4, Minnesota 2. Final, Seattle 1, Toronto nothing. That's the first game of 2. In the second game, it's Seattle 6, Toronto 2 after 8. Phil?
All right, Fran, a big inning for the Yankees. They need 3 to tie, and Chambliss will lead it off. Chris had a rough night tonight. He has struck out, bounced to short, and bounced to first base. Dennis Leonard's been in there all the way for the Royals. The right-hander winds, and the pitch is a bouncing ball to his left. Pacheck, he's got it deep. The throw, they got him by a step. Beautiful play by Freddie Pacheck. See those little legs sparkling over there. Went a long ways for that ball and a long throw, and he threw Chambliss out.
Phil, what helps Pacheck is his speed, of course, in this AstroTurf, but his great arm allows him to play further back. He can pick that ball and throw the man out.
Boy,
Shortstop.
That is some asset. All right, Greg Nettles, who's been on a tear. In this game, he's 2 for 2, a walk and 2 singles. Hits one to left field, but right there is Willie Wilson, and Willie makes the catch. There at 2 out. Well, the Yankees down to their final out. The batter will be Gary Thomason, who singled and scored in the second inning, struck out in the 4th, and struck out in the 7th. On deck, Roy White. Leonard winds, and the pitch is lined. There's a base hit to left center field. Over there quickly, Willie Wilson, and can he get there in a hurry? And a good arm and a good throw to second, throw back to first, and Thomason just does get back. You talk about good defense and speed. These Royals have it. A line single to left center. The Yankees are still alive. Roy White has singled, hit into a double play, and double to right field. And if White should get on, we'll see a pinch hitter for the Yankees. Mike Heath is scheduled to bat in back of White. And it looks like Heath's 13-game hitting streak will go by the boards tonight. The pitch to Roy, foul back, and the Yankees are all swinging at that first pitch, Fran. All 4 men in this inning have swung at the first pitch.
Yes, they are, Phil. Of course, at one time, the rule was take that pitch when you were behind, especially in the 8th and 9th innings. Of course, it has changed.
Absolutely.
They think that that pitcher will try to get ahead. He has a 3-run lead. He will try to get ahead with that fastball. Most hitters are good fastball hitters. They usually have a problem with the breaking ball.
All right, 1 strike on Roy White. They're not bothering to hold Thomason on at first. Leonard sets, and the pitch in. Oh, he called it a strike, and Roy throws the bat up in the air and drops it. And I'd say that pitch first almost hit Roy White in the belt buckle and was well inside, but Derwood Merrill called it a strike. Roy did not intentionally throw the bat on the ground. If he did, he could have been thrown out of the ball game. He threw it up in the air, tried to catch it, and missed. So it's 0-2 on Roy White. 2 out in the top of the 9th. The Yankees trail 5-2. Stretch by Leonard. And the pitch, high, ball 1. I believe on deck is Jim Spencer.
Yes, it is, Phil.
As long as Healy says it. Got those good eyes. Good scout. If I need any scouting out here in the ballpark. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Roy White. Thomason leading at first. Leonard sets, and the curve is just outside. Oh, holy cow. Well, menzo. Well, one goes one way and one goes the other way. That time Roy White took a deep sigh of relief. All right, 2-2. The kick, the pitch, high, ball 3, 3-2. Well, things getting a little interesting here again. Royals lead at 5-2, but if White gets on, it brings the potential tying run to the plate. Got two left-handers warming up in the bullpen. Eagle Eye.
Mingori and a mad Hungarian.
All right, here's a big payoff pitch coming. Here it is, and it's hit in the air. That's it. Amos Otis moving to his right and right and left center. Makes the catch. And the ball game is over. No runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. The final score, the Royals 5 and the Yankees 2.
Say, what's another name for action, Bill?
Oh, that's easy, Frank. Yoo-hoo.
Right, Yoo-hoo chocolate drink.
And Yoo-hoo keeps your action up.
And it's got a super chocolate taste. Rich chocolatey chocolate.
Great frosty refreshment.
Best of all, Yoo-hoo's made with nourishing low-fat milk. Ordinary soft drinks are made with water. Yoo-hoo adds milk.
And that's what makes Yoo-hoo better.
Like Yogi says, if you like chocolate, you're going to love Yoo-hoo.
Try Yoo-hoo chocolate drink from Iroquois Brands.
Yoo-hoo, the action drink for action people.
Rickle Home Center presents another episode of Under One Roof.
Fred, do you know the paint in this house is 10 years old today?
Happy birthday, dear paint.
And this furniture, it's early orange crate.
I prefer to call it fruit of the limb.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Fred, you're at the end of your limb, and I'm sewing fast.
Can I help it if I march to the beat of a different drummer?
I'll give you a different drum beat if you don't go to Rickle Home Center. They've got all the furniture and paint you need.
At the Rickle Fantastic Paint Sale, you'll save $4 to $5 on every gallon of house paint in stock, including high-quality Saplin, Rickle exterior paint, Weather Bright, and Sherwin-Williams. Choose from over 2,000 decorated colors, including non-yellowing white. Sale ends Wednesday, so hurry into Rickle today.
Rickle helps you do it better with Rickle.
Be sure to save your Rickle colored registered tapes for a free Swiss watch. Come in for details.
All right, the totals in the ball game. A tough loss for the Yankees, a big win for the Royals. For the Royals, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. For the Yankees, 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher, Dennis Leonard, complete game. He has won 12, lost 11. The losing pitcher in a tough loss for Dick Tidrow, he has won 4 and lost 8. The Yankees scored 2 runs in the second inning, and that was it for the night. The Royals picked up 4 big runs in the 7th inning, 1 in the 8th, and that's the story of the ball game. This is, well, check that. The engineer for Yankee broadcast is Brian Ferguson. Assistant producer is Carol Lee Ashwell, and the executive producer is Arthur Adler. This is Phil Rizzuto for Frank Messer, Fran Healy, and for Bill White. Our next broadcast is tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. against the Kansas City Royals. Stay tuned now for the Yankees scoreboard and wrap-up shows.
Here comes the Yankees. Let's get behind the cheerleader. Yankees, they're gonna learn to feel the Yankees. Everyone knows they play to win. 'Cause they're the New York Yankees.
Next time you have an appetite for fine Italian food, go directly to Ponte's in New York and Carte Blanche. Ponte's is one of many fine restaurants in New York where your Carte Blanche card will allow you to spoil, indulge, and treat yourself to the kind of food nobody can make at home. Dinner always tastes a little better when you have it with style with your Carte Blanche card, because people know Carte Blanche denotes more than an average measure of distinction and taste. With a Carte Blanche card, you can travel with style also. You can Carte Blanche your airline tickets, Carte Blanche your rented car, and Carte Blanche your hotel bill. Keep your card with you wherever you go, and Carte Blanche your way through over 250,000 doors across the country, including Ponte's. Carte Blanche it. You'll know you're going first class, so will everyone else.
Here comes the Yankees. Let's get behind the cheerleader. Yankees, they're gonna learn to feel the Yankees. Everyone knows they play to win.
The Yankees Scoreboard Show is sponsored by Getty Gasoline. Good evening, everybody. Back at Royal Stadium here in Kansas City. This is Frank Messer with the Scoreboard Show following Royals 5-2 win over the New York Yankees. And before we take a look at the other scores in the American and National Leagues, it's a pleasure to have with us right now one of our sponsors on the Scoreboard Show, a gentleman I've known for a good many years. through pressures of business, had to leave the New York area, relocate out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and visiting with us tonight here in Kansas City. Talking about and to Lester J. Boyle, the advertising manager for the Getty Oil Company. Les, good to see you again, buddy.
Thank you very much, Frank. It's good to be here.
Well, I know that you got a lot of friends still back in the New York area, even though you were forced to change your location out to Tulsa. And I know you want to say hello to them.
Yeah, I'd like to say hello to everybody back there and assure them, although the Yankees had a bad night tonight, I think it's going to get better tomorrow.
Les, I know that in addition to following the Yankees, you're a general sports fan, baseball, football, basketball, all the sports, and you're able to keep in touch as much out in Tulsa as you were back in New York?
Well, Tulsa is not as remote as you might think it is, Frank. We do get to see a lot more. As a matter of fact, we have a AA ball club out there, and this year, for the first time, a professional soccer team, the Roughnecks of the North American Soccer League. They've provided, and we've been associated with them, they've provided a very exciting season. In fact, they're probably going into the playoffs.
Well, Lester, I'm very happy to have you come by, and I can say to everybody right now, I got you in front of me. I use the same gasoline as Lester J. Boyle.
Thank you very much, Frank.
Okay, Les, thank you for stopping in. Always good to see you, partner. All right, let's go to the scoreboard right now and take a look at the Boston-Minnesota doubleheader. Rod Carew, pinch hitting because of an injured left shoulder that kept him out of the starting lineup, doubled in 2 runs in the 6th inning tonight, giving the Minnesota Twins a 5-4 win over the Boston Red Sox in the first game of a doubleheader. Darrell Jackson, a rookie left-hander, got the win in the ball game. Mike Marshall saved it, his 12th save. Jackson's record is 3-3. Dick Drago, pitching in relief of Tom Bergmeyer, who started for Boston, was the loser. His record 2-4. Glenn Borgman, a lad from New Jersey, homered for Minnesota in the ball game, and the Twins won it 5-4. The Red Sox are bidding for a split of the doubleheader. They lead 4-2 in the bottom half of the 7th inning of the nightcap. Mike Torres started for Boston in the second game. He was ejected in the first inning for bumping one of the umpires after a balk was called on him. Bill Campbell came on to pitch in the first inning. Andy Hassler relieved in the 5th. Jeff Zahn is pitching for Minnesota. Carlton Fisk brought the Red Sox back from a deficit to the lead with his 15th home run of the year. It came in the 6th with 2 men on. So Boston leads 4-2 in the 7th inning after Minnesota won the opener 5-4. Seattle took 2 from Toronto. A 3-0 shutout pitched by Honeycutt in the first game, his 4th win of the year against 5 losses. Dave Lemanchik pitched well in losing. His record is 3-12. Seattle won, Toronto nothing in the opener. Seattle made it a sweep with a 7-2 win in the nightcap, with Jim Colborn getting the win and Jesse Jefferson the loser. California at Cleveland. They're in the 12th inning right now and tied up 4-4. They finished 9, tied 2-2. California scored 2 in the 11th as Don Baylor hit his 23rd home run of the year, but Cleveland came right back with 2 in their half of the 11th inning to tie it up again. They're in the 12th and tied 4-4. Baltimore down in Texas, and they're tied up 4-4 at the end of 6 innings. Dennis Martinez started for the Orioles. Tippy Martinez in the 5th. Fergie Jenkins has gone all the way for the Rangers. At the end of 6, Baltimore 4, Texas 4. Milwaukee at Chicago. And at the end of 7 innings of play, the White Sox 4, the Milwaukee Brewers 1. Steve Stone is pitching that ball game for Chicago. Larry Sorensen for Milwaukee. Ben Ogilvy homered, his 13th of the year for Milwaukee's only run. Chicago leads 4-1 at the end of 7. Detroit defeated the Oakland A's by a final score of 4-1. Rusty Staub hit his 16th home run of the year. It came in the first inning with a man on. Young all the way for the win, and Matt Keogh was the loser. Detroit 4, Oakland 1. Here in Kansas City, the Royals beat the Yankees 5-2, and I'll be back with the National League in just a minute.
Fill her with Getty unleaded regular, please. Hey, Clarice, you see that guy getting gas across the island? You know who that is?
No, Lester.
That guy is Jackie Stewart. Do you realize he's won 3 world driving championships? Hey, Jackie, what you doing here?
Buying gasoline.
You use Getty, too? Hey, Clarice, Jackie Stewart uses the same gasoline as Lester J. Boyle.
Well, you're in the big time now, Lester.
Hey, Jack, do you know something about Getty us regular everyday drivers don't know?
I know Getty unleaded regular burns clean like an unleaded.
I knew that.
But it's got the power of a regular gasoline.
Well, I knew that.
And it costs a few cents less than most other major unleadeds.
Is that important to great racing drivers?
To great Scottish racing drivers, it is.
Getty Unleaded Regular. More power for less money.
Taking a look now at the National League, the big news in the National League, and one of the big stories in baseball, is the fact that Pete Rose has tied Tommy Holmes' National League record of hitting in 37 consecutive games. Pete Rose got a single his fourth time up in the ball game at Shea Stadium. He's also added another base hit, 2 for the night. But Pete Rose has now tied Tommy Holmes' National League record of hitting in 37 consecutive ball games. In the ball game itself, the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Mets are tied 3-3, and they're in the 9th inning. Rose got his record-tying base hit off Pat Zachary. Lee Mazzilli and Steve Henderson have homered for the Mets to bring them into a tie 3-3 at the end of 8. Atlanta 5, Philadelphia 1. That's the final score in Philadelphia, where a crowd of better than 30,000 was on hand again. They saw Biff Pocoroba hit his 5th home run of the year for Atlanta. That was the deciding blow in the ball game. Richie Hebner homered for Philadelphia for the Phillies' only run. Sullivan, the winner for Atlanta, and Jim Lonborg started and lost for the Phillies. Atlanta 5, Philadelphia 1 a final. Montreal leads Houston 4-0 at the end of 7, playing in the Astrodome. Hal Dews started for Montreal. Garvin in the 7th. Mark Lemongello is pitching for Houston. Montreal 4, Houston 0 at the end of 7. Chicago at Los Angeles. It'll be Krukow for the Cubs, Welch for the Dodgers. No report. I'll be back with the story on the Yankee loss to Kansas City right after this. The Yankee Scoreboard Show has been sponsored by Getty Gasoline.
Yankees, let's get behind the cheerleader. Yankees, they're gonna learn to feel
The Yankee Wrap-Up Show is sponsored by the Lincoln Savings Bank and by Magnavox. Here in Kansas City, the New York Yankees story started early this afternoon when Billy Martin resigned as manager of the New York Yankees. This evening, it was announced by Yankee President Al Rosen that Bob Lemon, Hall of Fame pitcher, 7-time 20-game winner for the Cleveland Indians, had been named to replace Billy Martin as manager of the New York Yankees. It was also announced that Billy Martin's contract, which held through 1979, would be honored as far as his salary is concerned, and Mr. Rosen said the coaching staff had been informed that they had a job through the rest of this season. But Billy Martin is out, resigning as manager of the Yankees. Bob Lemon is in as the new manager, and he'll take over the ball club tomorrow. The interim manager for this game only was Coach Dick Howser. Kansas City won the ball game by a score of 5-2. The Yankees had a 2-0 lead in the 7th inning. There were 2 men out when Steve Braun hit a ball to right field. Thurman Munson had it, dropped it. It was scored a double. It should have been caught. After the dropped ball, which scored 2 runs, 2 more scored in the inning. The Royals got 1 more in the 8th and won it 5-2. I'll be back with more on the ball game in just a moment.
Here's some very bad news for people who rob mailboxes, and some great news for people who get Social Security, railroad retirement, or civil service annuity checks. Thousands of retired folks will never again worry about checks being laid or lost or stolen. They just filled out a simple form at the Lincoln Savings Bank, and now Uncle Sam automatically deposits their checks directly in their accounts at the Lincoln every month. No more waiting around for it to come. No more lost or stolen checks. No more standing in line to cash them. Every month, the day your check is due, the money is there in your free checking account at the Lincoln or in your savings account, earning interest for you from the day it was due until the day you withdraw it. Interest that can really add up. Uncle Sam and the Lincoln do it all automatically. You don't have to do anything except fill out one form at any Lincoln branch or telephone 782-6000 and the Lincoln will mail it to you. The Lincoln Savings Bank, 782-6000, member FDIC.
The Yankees scored 2 runs in the 2nd inning of the ball game tonight to take a 2-0 lead. With 1 out, Greg Nettles walked. Gary Thomason singled to center field. Nettles stopped at second. Roy White singled to center field. Nettles scored. Thomason went to third. Mike Heath, who had a 13-game hitting streak ended, grounded into a forced play on which a run scored, and the Yankees had a 2-0 lead. As the game turned out, that was the only scoring allowed by Dennis Leonard, who pitched all the way to win his 5th in a row and upped his record to 12-11 on the year. Meanwhile, Dick Tidrow pitched a strong 6 innings for the Yankees. He had allowed no runs on 4 hits. Going into the 7th, he walked the leadoff man, Darrell Porter. Clint Hertl lined out to Mickey Rivers. Tom Poquette flied out to right field, but then Freddie Pacheck got a base hit. Steve Braun batted for Frank White, the second baseman, hit a drive to right field, long run for Munson, but he got to the ball, had it in his glove, couldn't hold it. The ball fell out, 2 runs scored, and the official score said a 2-run double for the pinch hitter Braun. Before the inning was over, George Brett had singled to left to drive in another one, and John Wathan had doubled to left center for still another run. The Royals got an insurance run in the 8th, and the final totals looked like this. The Royals 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 8 men left. The New York Yankees 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 5 men left. Dennis Leonard all the way for the win, his 13th complete game, his 5th win in a row. His record now in the year 12-11. The loser for the Yankees, Dick Tidrow, his record 4-8. I'll have a final word on tonight's action in just a moment. Are you looking for some really terrific home entertainment? Then let Magnavox entertain you with their incredible home entertainment center. You'll have a great television and a great stereo all in one beautiful piece of decorative furniture. The TV is really special. It's the Touch Tune color TV only from Magnavox. Just a touch of a button locks in a beautiful color picture that's always sharp, always natural, always perfectly tuned, as only a computer can assure. And the stereo is really special, too. It's the Magnavox stereo with speakers that are directed to the sides of your room as well as to the front to surround you with the richest, fullest sound you've ever heard. And Magnavox home entertainment centers come in a wide selection of fine furniture cabinetry and finishes. There's French Provincial, Mediterranean, Early American, and much more. So there's sure to be a style that will fit in with your home decor. Why not have and enjoy the finest color television and the finest stereo all in one great-looking piece of furniture? Bring home the Magnavox Home Entertainment Center. Now that's entertainment, and it's only from Magnavox. Footnotes again on baseball tonight. Billy Martin resigning as manager of the Yankees. Bob Lemon is named as the new manager. In New York, Pete Rose extended his hitting streak to 37 games. And here in Kansas City, the Royals extended their winning streak to 10. The Yankees' winning streak ended at 5 as the Royals won the ball game by a final score of 5-2. There will be no Magnavox Star of the Game award made for the ball game tonight. The Yankees will wind up the road trip tomorrow night with Ron Guidry pitching against Paul Splittorff in a battle of mighty fine left-hand pitchers. We'll have the pregame show at 8:15, the game broadcast at 8:30. Until tomorrow night, this is Frank Musser saying good evening from Royal Stadium in Kansas City. The Yankee Wrap-Up Show has been sponsored by Magnavox and by the Lincoln Savings Bank.
They're gonna learn to be the Yankees. Everyone knows they play to win. Cause they're from New York Yankees. Today play the Yankees.
The News Watch never stops. This is WINS.